big up, big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12 Man Show. It's Sunday, it's a little cup of tea, sitting back, sipping on our tea, and watching these great matchups that have unfolded on Sunday. Bunch of great results for us as Reds. First and foremost, too, I'd like to say I hope that everyone is safe and everyone is sound that was affected by the storms out in England and elsewhere in Europe. So I hope that everyone is well. Big up to everyone that's joining us, though. And what a day. It was very much like sipping on some tea because basically it was exactly that for today. It was a lot of situations where we ended up finding clubs that normally would probably get results against the teams they were facing today. And it's the sheer fact that, oh my goodness. Do you hear it? Do you hear that? Exactly. There is absolutely nothing being spoken on the internet. Whether you're from Manchester, whether you're from London, pretty much it is quiet as a bee out there. So big up to Revenite, big up to Red Armchair Supporter, big up to Dara in the house, big up to Philip, and big up to Bonkers, big up to everyone joining us. We might have some of the guys joining us today. I'm not certain if they'll be able to or not. So you might have me solo in the dolo, but all the same, I will talk a little bit of mess. I've certainly been talking a little bit of mess on Twitter or X, if you want to call it that. I've certainly been leaving a couple of comments and a couple of different little chats. I was asking, I know this might come off as a little bit smuggish, but I was asking for Egal to come outside because where someone talking such chest, oh my goodness. The sheer bravado, the sheer just some would say even quote arrogance of some of the content creators that are out there that represent rival clubs. Big up to you, by the way. We appreciate the fact that you do provide us a lot of comedy and a lot of laughs and some joy as well. But just the sheer fact that every time you hear him talking or hear people like himself with their own opinions, whether it's what's his name, Gunnar Sauls or Gunnar Suit, get his name now, and just a lot of people. I'm sure you can pick out some names. If you want to help me out, you can definitely throw out some names that have been doing nothing but chapping, yapping during the old Gordo yap. Yeah, okay. You can go hang out with Gordon. Yeah, big up. You know, the guy was crying about VAR today, 12 after being arrogant. Oh, he was. I don't know if you troops out there sitting in his troops. I mean, it's bad enough that the only positive thing about not having the 12:30 kickoff was that I didn't have to wake up at 5:30 to watch 5:30 in the morning to watch the game. But geez, man, they're gonna be crying and just doing what they do best about VAR. That's for sure. But who else was out there? Gunnar Souls, I think his name is Gunnar Souls. He's the one I played you the clip from on that one day, and he was sitting there talking about, well, you know what? Let me just bring it. We got to bring the clips back because it's so much more enjoyable. It's so much more enjoyable. It is like this. You just gotta sit there and sip on your tea. I mean, put the little pinky up for those that like to do it that way. I don't even know Gunnar Lee Liverpool Lee. I don't even. What is he? I wouldn't be surprised if he's Chelsea Lee by now. But Whatever, Gunnar Lee. Oh, wow. You're going to have a couple of people slowly. They're going to be the meme from The Simpsons. They're simply going to be Homer Simpson just slowly creeping back into that bush because that's exactly into those shrubs because that's exactly what they are. They're all scrubs. Oh my goodness, what a bunch of funny individuals. Oh wow, it's good to be a Red today. Big up Realism Jared. Big up Realism Jared. Hello to B out there. Hello Bernie. Hope you're feeling well, by the way. Hope that your process of recovery is going well. And big up to Chill Guy. Big up Chill Guy. Definitely good to see everyone in the chat. Everyone in the chat. I know. I put that one out there. Oh, how it feels to be Liverpool today, huh? Tell us about that. Tell us about those feelings, huh? Let's see what else are you talking about. I'm sure there were some other heads out there. This is the time to air it, This is the time to kind of like get it out there. Just like this is just us Reds, sitting around the table, sipping on some tea, just chilling, hanging out, talking about the good times and the good times ahead. Oh man. And let me just say this. For our Spurs brethren, I'm almost lost in words what to say. It's so incredibly difficult. I don't understand. I could not understand, like as in knowing and being a part of a club that for me has always given hope. Like as in for me, I've always had that hope inside to say, yes, we could possibly win this. Or, hey, I know we're losing, but hey, we can battle back. When we're watching the game together for the Newcastle game, albeit we only got the draw, but still, like, it did not look promising at one point. And even I was saying, you know what, though? I'm not giving up hope. But being a Spurs fan, you almost got a sense that you almost say you expect it to be like you go outside, you see it's sunny, and you bring an umbrella. That's what it would feel like. I think that's what it would feel like to be a Spurs fan. Like you just think that you're gonna the weatherman. It's gonna be nothing but sun. It's gonna be nothing but clean, open, pure sunshine and beautiful sky above. And as a Spurs fan, you bring a raincoat, some galoshes, right, and an umbrella, and you make it happen. Oh my goodness, because at some point it is just not going to be good. Oh my goodness. Luca's in the house. Big up Luca. Luca talks ball. I am absolutely fantastic. I know that today's session is going to be a little bit of banter. So if you are sensitive, I would not be insulted if you didn't stick around. I understand completely. But hopefully you do. It's all fun. It's all fun. It's all part of football, so don't take it too personally. Because I don't believe that you're one of those people out there. Some of your Gunnar supporters out there do talk a bit of mess, to say the least. They say some things out of both ends, but still the same. I hope that you're well, Luca. And we're joined also by Irishman right now. Big up Irishman, how are you? Oh, he's on mute, but maybe he's possibly getting his he might be going to get his teacup and pouring himself. I don't know what he drinks. I don't know if it's Earl Grey tea or if it's chamomile or or whatever. But I know that right now the tea that I'm drinking is called the Tears of Rivals. The Tears of Rivals. Get yourself some of that today in whatever neighborhood store you can.
Yeah, I'm literally just doing something. I'm only in the doors. Give me 2 minutes and I'll be back.
Okay, no worries. JK's with us. Big up, JK. How are you doing?
I'm all good, bro. How you cool?
Yeah, it's like I said, we're just chilling. It's a little it's fitting that we have this session where we can just sit back, maybe have a cup of tea. I know how tea's so beloved in England. I actually love tea myself. I actually prefer tea over coffee. So how about that? But I am enjoying just the tears of the rivals tears. That's the actual brand of tea I'm drinking. Tears of rivals. Oh my goodness, it's so crazy. Some of the takes I've seen so far today have been absolutely hilarious. And some good news too. I mean, like on a day of good news too for us, despite the fact that we didn't get this rivalry, this derby game out of the way. It does look like we have gotten Mohamed Salah into a step closer to the announcement of his deal. I know that Virgil van Dijk, I heard, is one step closer to getting his deal done as well. That could be two big names that we would eventually be having cross the line, and then have only the third left to get across the line, being TAA. But it'd be good times. What were you thinking when you saw something? I'm going to bring in, actually, you know what? Tell me what you're thinking, and I'm going to bring in some of these comments, because people are definitely bringing in a couple of thoughts and a little bit of fun little banter as well. But what were your thoughts today?
Me, I tell you the truth, bro. Today it's been a good weekend when you look at the rivals, Arsenal, City, and Chelsea. Only Chelsea won. Arsenal, City dropped points. I think if the Chelsea game was a draw, then it would have been all right, But other than that, as long as we get the contract sorted in January, before January, it'd be good news, They'll use it as a transfer signing. But for me, just getting them three guys.
I think it's going to be sooner than that, to be honest with you.
Say again, bro.
I think it's going to be sooner than that we get the announcement.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because normally when you have it'd be very similar to like the Klopp news about him leaving, like when stuff's about to break or when stuff's already being leaked, you might as well just release it. It's like there's no point, because you're going to get asked the question continuously in press conference. You already are getting asked that question, but then on top of that, you want to be actually honest as possible, at least, in your press conference, and you're not going to sit there and lie. So there's only going to be so many ways they can contort and move differently to try to get around it.
Yeah, but I think what it is with football, everything's sort of planned. When they let the news out, when the players are allowed by the club to let news out, I think it's not free-spirited as we think it is. I think everything's sort of planned, and they're given slots of time where they're given only slots of time when they can let that news out.
We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, and I prefer tea as well to coffee. Yeah, tea. Tea's the best.
Yeah, tea, definitely. I am drinking tea. To be honest, I am drinking tea right now. I'm
about to make one.
It's in here. It's actually like a I don't know if you guys drink Arnold Palmer's over there. At least that's what they call him here. Arnold Palmer is a golfer, but he was like he made a drink for himself where it's like tea and lemonade. Ever heard of that? Tea and lemonade? No, maybe not.
Not just iced tea, no.
It's like iced tea with lemonade in it. It's like half and half almost. This one's got like agave in it. It's like a little natural sweetener. But I should put the pot or the kettle on the burner there. There's a lot of stuff to talk about this weekend. Let me bring in these.
I wasn't allowed to drink coffee when I was a kid.
No, I didn't really like coffee. I think it's funny. I think I became an adult. I think there was one time I remember I was sitting somewhere and I was drinking coffee, and I remember just saying it to whoever I was with. I remember saying, I think I'm an adult now. I actually like coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, I used to hate it when I was young. Like when I saw my
Yeah, yeah.
parents drink it, I was like, why are they drinking that? Oh,
Yeah.
why are they drinking that stuff? It's so nasty. But then, like, eventually, I'm like, I think I might be.
I don't mind this.
Like, oh my
That's what you
goodness.
screwed.
I'm
You
old
realize
now.
you're growing up when you start liking coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, you gotta
But
use
for
whatever
me,
you
like
can.
the Indian tea is really nice when you boil the water, you add the
Yeah.
sugar, you can add the cardamom.
Mhm.
It's like a shell, and you let the seed inside that in the tea. Then you can add tea flakes. What do you call it?
Leave.
Tea leaves. You add the tea leaves, then you let it boil. Add the milk. Job done. You can
Mhm.
add ginger in there as well. It's really nice.
Yeah. Dara, I starred your question. I'm gonna bring it up in 1 second. I'm gonna bring up that's a great question too, by the way. Shout out to Jedi, despite him getting a yellow card today. Big up, my brother. Good to see you playing well. He just continues to get better. I mean, continuously gets better. Let me bring up some of these.
Were you allowed to drink it though when you were a kid, JK? Like,
What's
I don't
that?
know. Is that just an Irish thing, or is it just a my parents thing? They were like, it's kind of like coffee was like alcohol. You couldn't have coffee if you were a kid because it was like super caffeine or whatever. But I was
Yeah.
always like, until I was like maybe 12 or 13, my parents wouldn't allow me to drink coffee because it was like, no, kids,
Yeah.
it's you're not allowed to have it as a kid. So
Yeah.
I just drank tea for like, so, yeah, I can take or leave coffee, but
It's
no,
true though.
yeah,
Back
to
in the
us it was
days,
like,
it
no,
was
you're not
viewed.
allowed to have that. You're too young
You're
to
not
drink
allowed.
coffee.
Yeah.
And then everyone found out there's just as much caffeine as tea as there is in coffee, and everyone just shut
Yeah.
up then.
Yeah. Coffee was viewed as like you put it in the alcohol cabinet if you had one. It
Kind
was
of,
like,
it's for
yeah.
adults. It was more of an
It's for
adult. You
adults.
couldn't
Yeah.
give kids coffee. You wouldn't be making
Kids
you're making
coffee.
kids.
That would be wild.
That'd be
That'd be
worse.
so wild.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Maybe we should start that. Maybe you
Stop
could get kids
stealing my
coffee.
ideas.
If you
We
think
got
you're
the lazy gravy.
no, if you think your kids
coffee.
aren't, if you think your kids aren't hyped up off of sugar alone, now get them running around and never going to sleep.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'm sure a lot of
Blaming it on the
parents
caffeine.
for that one. Yeah. I feel you, Philip. That's funny. Yeah, my coffee is made out of eats tears. I'm sure, man. I am sure. I was listening to Neville, and they had Neville and
The Man United goalkeeper.
yeah, and Tim Howard on.
Tim Howard, yeah.
And I asked them if, like, I know they do the electric slide here. Electric slide's like a world phenomenon type dance. It's very popular at a lot of weddings here in America, at least. I don't know if it's got that kind of prominence over in Europe like that. But like, I asked them if they were doing, is that like the Manchester version of the electric slide? Because they were taking 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps to the side. They were just dancing all over the place with their answers, trying to give like some reasoning behind, like, what is up with Manchester United. Oh my goodness. Long may it continue, by the way. Shout out to Cass, from Never a Foul. He's someone that's in the radars of someone that I'm trying to get the attention of because he deserves it with the amount of trash that he's talked personally, and if not, like, generally about Reds. So, just doing my part. Yeah, Dar, we cannot forget the United. Did you guys see? Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can find it too. I didn't get all the clips up and ready, but did you see Onana at the end of that game? They're down. They're down the. They're trying to score a goal, and they get a foul right around like the halfway mark, right, and the center stripe, and it was like I was probably about maybe like 5 yards back from the center stripe, but like he keeps throwing it, closer, trying to gain a couple extra feet or
Yeah,
yards.
yeah.
And the assistant
Wasted 20
referees,
seconds.
like the assistant referees pointing to him, like, here's your spot, here's your line, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And Nana's like, hey, wait a minute. I know we're going for a goal. I know we got to get a goal. So hold my beer. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go up here and waste 48 seconds of our
doing
time.
that. Yeah. And that's why I wouldn't want that type of player in my team.
Oh,
As a manager, that's going to drive you mad. Put the ball where the referee said do it, because you know the referee's going to stop you if you don't put it there. So you're going to waste time, and you need a goal to get something out of the game. And this is what I mean. Common sense signings, bro. Like Anana, I knew the guy's got no common sense. Yeah, he's like this season he's got the most points, fantasy football goalkeeper points. God knows how, but he has. But for me, common sense in that sort of situation, you want a guy who's going to get the ball, put it on the floor, and whack it into the box. And where did he even hit that free kick? Why are you going back post where there's only two Man United players?
Basically,
like common sense, hit it in the middle where there could be a possibility of someone to get a rebound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or deflection or something like,
whatever.
Yeah.
Thing is, when you hit the ball wide the way he did it, you got to get one of your guys getting their head on that ball. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you hit it straight into the box in the middle, something could happen there. The ball could fall to someone, Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty sad. Pretty sad. Let's see what else they got in the chat here. Lee saying his mom drank coffee like most Brits drink tea, so he was teenage caffeine addict. Okay, I got you. Got you, Lee. I never got. I when I was younger, I never got the coffee thing. I still do like chai tea now in my older years now, and then I'll do like what they call like a dirty chai, which is like, it's like an espresso inside of like chai tea. You ever had that before by any chance?
I've never even heard of it, bro.
Oh no. Oh, okay. All right. It's your first time hearing about this. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if anyone in the chat's had that before. Chai tea is also. I love chai tea though. Chai tea is really good.
I've never really tried it,
You never tried chai tea?
No, not really. I don't think I think I might have tried something similar a while back.
It's kind of like a cinnamon style, like
taste,
like a spice type tea.
Oh, okay.
Like a cinnamon spice style tea. It's pretty tasty. Definitely pretty tasty.
You can get cinnamon.
But then like you put the espresso in, and then like it gives you get the benefits of like masking. If you're not really into drinking espressos, you kind of mask it with the tea.
I drank once. I was in Munich. I drank 3 espressos. I drank 3 espressos after each other. Wow, I've never done that in my life. It was so strong. Wow, mad.
Yeah. No, I know. I didn't. Dara is a sheriff, so he will not have to pay for coffee or tea. Definitely not.
So we're going around his then for biscuits.
Yeah, exactly. We have to pay. Yeah, okay. Everyone's talking about their key and teas. Yeah. Oh, okay. Bernie can't stand sweet teas. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, a milky tea. Like my tea has to have like a suntan color.
You don't like cafe au lait, stuff like that, like coffee or even it'd be thé au lait, which is French for tea with milk, but coffee au lait. Cafe au lait is like coffee with milk.
Okay, because like in Turkey they drink tea without milk. They have sugar in it, but they don't have no milk in it. Where India they put milk in it, and in England they put milk in their tea. And what Bernie probably don't like that milky sort of like, when you got a strong cup of tea, it's very dark. Then you got that suntan tea color, and that's for me the best. And then you got that milky whitey sort of tea color, and that's horrible. You don't want milky tea. It's very it's not nice.
Okay, that's interesting too, because I know that they do like it's not really milk, but I understand like some of the some Indian foods have like to utilize yogurts or like that kind of kind of like
Oh yeah, they use tons of milk and yogurt.
milk and yogurts and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting.
All your you have a lot of flavored milk drinks in Italy, don't you, JK? There's a lot of kind of flavored milk.
Mhm.
Kind of. You see people on those kind of travel shows, right? It's like,
do you ever have boba tea? You ever have boba tea? No. That's like an Asian drink. That's a
bubble tea. Yeah, I've had it once.
Yeah, the tapioca things.
Well, sometimes I'll have like the little like boba's like the like jelly like things.
Yeah, jelly.
Jelly little things in the bottom that you can eat off of.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is.
You know what I mean? You're looking for them, ain't you? You're drinking, exactly. Where are they?
Yeah. Let's see.
Redbird's talking about a tea called Yorkshire tea. It's a firm, and their tea is really nice. And they even do like a biscuit. Yeah, they do like a biscuit tea, malt tea biscuits. And they do a flavored tea with that sort of taste to it. It's really nice.
Yeah. What's funny is that I think that the chat has been talking about coffee and tea since the start of the stream.
It's a big debate, bro, in England and in India and stuff. It's like, some people have arguments about that. If you don't make the tea right, there's trouble.
Oh, then you're in trouble. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Nalante, big up to you. Big up to you. How are you doing today? What kind of tea are you sipping on? Hopefully.
My tea is good evening, ladies, the chat and my fellow panelists. The tea I'm sipping on is a nice, cool, calm tea. It's a calm before the storm kind of tea, you know.
There you
go. I'm holding it back before when the right time to rip. But just observing. It's a calm tea, you know.
It's calm
tea. He's calm tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah. Jeez, this is such good settings though today. What was what result? It's kind of weird because the worst result for me was either the Ipswich beating Bournemouth or what was it?
Bournemouth won. Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think Bournemouth. Ipswich won, right?
No, Bournemouth won 2-1.
No, Bournemouth beat them 2-1.
Oh wow, I didn't.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That creeped up on me, that one, and even Leicester coming back creeped up on me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see that now.
Yeah.
Still, I needed Leicester to win, but it's all good. And I'm sure Ant was pretty disappointed about that, but at least they got a point out of it. They did not look like they were going to get a point out of that game. I actually stopped watching those two.
Called off the engagement.
Yeah, I was watching those two games. It's like that's how weird it was. I was watching the Ipswich game first, and then I saw where they were at, and I was like, oh, I'm getting up on them. Then I went and watched, and then they ended up going back. So now I know the psyche of what I need to do. I need to watch them for a little bit and then give up, and then they'll come back apparently. And I started watching the Brighton game, and then I saw them go up 2-1, and I was like, oh man, okay, this game's over, right? Or I think it was 2-0 at one point. I think or something.
Yeah, it's 2-0. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, it was 2-0, and I met Welbeck scored, right? And I was just like, okay, they're not coming back from this. Turn on the Arsenal game. And then I'm watching the Arsenal game, and as I was watching the Arsenal game, I see Saka score that goal, and I'm just like, mother.
Yeah, both. I think me and you both.
I was like, and then I was just like, you do that whole like, please be offside, please be offsides, please be offsides, because and he was.
Yeah, you know what happened with me? Because I was doing something else. I was just checking the scores on the Premier League app and stuff, and it came up Arsenal 2-1, 88th minute. Saka, I was like, there you go. I was like, oh, great. And for some reason, I didn't look at it again until a little bit later because I wanted to check the Chelsea and Tottenham teams. Then I looked at her. Arsenal drew 1-1. Bro, I was so happy. I was like, yo, what a day. And then Chelsea go and do that. Yeah.
That's definitely on cloud 9 for that.
Bournemouth won it at the debt. It's right at the end when Bournemouth won it, so it looked like they
Yeah.
were going to.
Yeah, that's
Goalkeeper
that's
mistake.
pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive.
Well, it was tough on Ipswich. It was a total mistake by the goalkeeper. It was absolutely.
Murray.
But that's Bournemouth. Murich, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Bournemouth, man. And
Bournemouth not bad. They're not bad.
Bournemouth isn't
Doing well.
bad. They had the most. I think they've had the most chances created. I think in the Premier League or something. At one point they were like leading the league in chances created.
You know he's going to end up at Tottenham, their manager.
No chance.
No?
We were talking about him. We were talking about this guy yesterday.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if he lasts the season at Bournemouth. The next big job that comes up, this guy is going to be. He's on the radar
Involved.
for a lot of teams. He's too good for Tottenham. He's way too good for Tottenham.
But
right now,
that's
anyway.
the sort of job that might come up, bro. Because I can't see unless Arteta goes to City, and then he might go to Arsenal, for example.
Yeah.
I don't really like the guy's face. I don't know, but he seems to be doing an all right job there. Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be.
Well, he was appointed by your best mate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Richard Hughes.
Yeah,
Richard Hughes headhunted him. But
yeah, this is pretty wild. I mean, I don't understand why they were calling him. What were they calling Amarin's? What was Amarin's nickname? Ram.
The Messiah, the next Alex Ferguson, God of Gods, King of Kings, Destroyer of Worlds,
the Savior.
Oh, I don't get this. Why is his new nickname Ruben Interim? Is his name now? He's gonna be a good coach. We were playing. He's gonna be a good coach, right?
He looked the part, if you know what I mean.
Oh, he was all smiles. Day one, he was like, "Hey, what is going on?" And then he recognized. Then he realized, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm coaching Manchester United." Yeah, that smile was quickly faded.
Look, for me, he's gone there thinking if it works out, it works out. If it don't, I'm going to get paid well.
Oh, absolutely.
So for me, he's not really too bothered, because his name won't get tarnished. Because United are a club, they aren't Liverpool or say a Real Madrid, a team where a manager can go and ruin his own career there. He's at a club where Man United are a mess. And the thing is, I think it's the players' fault. Look how many managers they've had. So Amran, he's winning either way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, it's not. It's pretty fitting because I mean, it's the same thing for most of the players. They look at it the same way. Like, no one. Why would you want to? I understand the history of Manchester United, but why you'd want to go and play in what they have going on right now is beyond me.
Beyond me. Yeah. Unless you sported them as a kid.
Then you look at what they're going to pay you. Then you're like, oh, I get it.
Then the eyes are open, Yeah. And it's true. Their director of football, Red Armchair, says that their director of football left after 4 games, and that's true. I think he left yesterday or today or something.
He did. That was a big. That was a big. Bombshell news update.
Mm-hmm. That's mad,
Yeah.
Ashworth. That's the guy. That's the one. Mm-hmm.
But just for some context, he didn't leave. I mean, I know it's a joke. He left after 4 games watching Amram. Amram sacked him.
No, Amram wouldn't have the power to sack him, Brian.
Basically, no, I'm not saying I was, but he said to the club, that's
can't work with him, maybe. Yeah.
So it came from the club.
Happened with Klopp. Yeah.
Yeah, it came from the club. Obviously, I was paraphrasing a little bit now. Yeah, I don't mean he sacked him directly, but he basically said to the club, it came from the club, but he was at the forefront of the decision to get rid of Ashford. It's Ashford, right? And he's only been there 5 months, and he was brought in by Jimmy Neos, Ratcliffe, to be the head of all this. He was the guy they put on garden leave for like 9 months from Newcastle. They put millions into getting him. Millions.
Yeah, 10 mil.
Now they've sacked him because they brought this. This shows it. This is why that club will never go anywhere, because you get an
Exactly,
owner
Brian.
that puts a plan in place, brings in his Ashworth that's going to oversee everything, gives him his reins, tells him this is your job, blah blah blah. This is what you're going to do, and then they bring in a manager after just giving the previous manager a new contract, sack Ten Hag, bring in Amram, and then Amram goes, "Yeah, I can't work with that guy." They go, "Oh, okay, sacked." I mean, what kind of a club is that? Like, how can you run a club like that in any way? You got to sit down with Amram and say, look, you knew he was here when you came in. When we interviewed you, you knew he was going to be the guy. You knew what our plans were. And now when you get here, you play the old switcheroo and you say, oh, actually, I can't work with this guy. And then they immediately bow to his demands. That's not how to run a club.
I don't think it was the case of Ruben saying, "Oh, I don't want him," and they wanted to sack him. I don't think it's that. I think what it is, they've had an input. They tried, obviously, foolishly. They got him, and again, speculation said he wanted a Potter. He wanted Southgate to take over. He initiated the Ten Hag, and obviously the fans to stay in the contract. I think what it is, Omar Barada and him have had a difference of opinion in terms of who they want. So Omar Barada was the one that wanted Ruben. So hence he's kind of, after the results, he's kind of taken over, and they've decided that, look, we're not happy with this, and they will disagree. And so who's leading to that? All Ruben said was something which they kind of already decided, him, Radcliffe, etc., which is a bit stupid. So I wouldn't say much is Ruben. Him saying, "Oh, I can't work with him," I think is a decision they kind of already made in the background, because there's already been division by Dan and Omar in terms of what they want in the club. So it was going that way before Ruben anyway.
Okay. It's not good either way, though, is it?
No, but I'm happy to see it. Happy days, mate. I'm loving it. I mean, listen, mate, great. Because again, once Enos came in, the big horror, but all these Man United fan channels said, oh, Glazers are out, new takeover. Look at the structure. Jason Wilcox, he's another one who him and Dan disagreed. So, oh, Dan, he's great. Look what he's done at Newcastle and the FA. And look what's happened. And now they can't decide what is what. So, I mean, happy days. I mean, continuing yours. And look what Man United fans within about one game. Ruben, my manager. I see the podcaster after the 4-0 win against Everton. We're back. My manager. Look at Ruben Ball. He's got a structure. And boy, tell you what, mate, even he knows it's going to take you years. And even if you get to a place, you ain't winning the league. The most you can hope for, if he gets his plays, is top 4. That's it. You ain't winning this league. When the big dogs are on town. We ain't happening, man. We had so much misery from them scumbags. Oh, the worst time of my lives. Oh, it was hard.
Yeah, man.
And now you can all rot. You can sit there and get your little hub and say, "Oh, Ruben, we're gonna play some ball free at the back. Well, we're gonna get goal players. We're gonna get this person." But at the end of the day, mate, you stay in the rot. You stay at Toilet Trafford. The big dogs will win big things, man. You can stay in the wilderness. How do you like them apples?
2 defeats in a week. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. A lot of different situations going on.
Crab apples.
Yeah.
Crab apples for them.
Yeah.
I was just going to show.
Because they were nasty with it. When they were like real
I'll tell you
good.
this. Like, this is wild. This is, I don't know if you say again, JK?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, in the old days, Man United fans weren't really nice, like glory like fans. They were really like sort of big-headed, arrogant. Like, they thought they were the best, like Man United fans in the old days and stuff. And now seeing how their club is, what goes around comes around, Like, even when we were a little bit successful under Klopp, I kept it cool. I was never arrogant and going on Man United pages and saying, you lot are rubbish and none of that sort of crap, Stay humble, when you win, stay humble.
It comes around, goes around. Like I said, I've been on Egal's heels today. I mean, it's funny. These guys all talk their mess, and then when they lose, look, it's not easy to be on camera much less if you've been out there talking and you know, and basically, you know, going all about the bravado that you have for your team, and that's all well and warranted. That's what I expect you to be, is, you know, proud or supportive of your club. But it sucks that much more when it comes around and you lose, and then you got to get on that same camera with people that you might have been braggadocious with, or you might have been, you know, bantering with, or talking mess. And all of a sudden, poof, no one sees you. You're not answering phone calls, you know, you're not picking up the phone. All of a sudden, no one can find you. Similar to, look, people have been saying that this man is on tilt, and it is scary. I mean, I don't subscribe to pestering people in their regular day lives and the sort, but this was pretty wild. If you haven't seen this, let me show you this real quick.
Oh yes. See this. Yeah.
Now, mate, just because you lost. You know what? I didn't say that. You know what he's lost? Yes, yes. You know what he's lost? No, it's fine.
That is pretty wild. Pep is they say how you can lose the narrative, I guess. I don't know what's going on with Pep.
That fucking word. That bloody word. I'm sick of it. It's
Narrative?
Yeah, I heard someone say the other day that Manchester United could not have succeeded. It didn't matter what Manchester United did in the last 10 years. And this was whatchamacallit. This is a Manchester United fan. And he's saying that the narrative was set over the last 10 years. Now, please explain to me what the narrative was set means. He said the narrative was set for Manchester United. They couldn't have done anything, because it's basically every time they did something, they get the piss taken out of them in the press, basically. And that's why it was irrelevant what they did, because the narrative had been set. So if that's what you believe, that there's this thing out there that controls what your club does, that's fucking crazy, right? But that's just a normal idiot Manchester United fan trying to use, you know, buzzwords and things like that to make it sound like there's something going on that other people don't understand and they've spotted. Now, I don't really mind that from Manchester United fan, but today I just want to mention one thing, is Lawrence McKenna. And he put up a show there today, and it was something like Arsenal did not falter, or Arsenal did not stumble, or why this was not a stumble for Arsenal. So I'm like, okay, I'm sure he's going to come out with his pseudo-intellectual bullshit, which is very easy to sound clever when you're talking to a low IQ audience. But anyway, that's another thing for another day. And he comes out with his usual kind of handsy black polo neck fucking posh boy bullshit, where it's like, he said, Arsenal do not have a problem winning football matches. Arsenal have a problem controlling the narrative. I just pretty much unsubscribed from it immediately. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to even mean, dude? Like, oh, they don't have a... No, I've looked at this. I'm cleverer than everybody else, and I can tell you, they don't have a problem. No, forget this whole winning football matches thing. That's not a problem for Arsenal. What Arsenal have a problem doing is controlling the narrative. I'm sorry, is there another, like, is this a different sport that gets played on Wednesdays or something that I don't watch, where like the narrative gets played? Like, what the hell is this guy even talking about, man? Like, you can get your fancy office with all your shit in the middle of London and coming out with this absolute claptrap. Arsenal clearly have a problem winning football matches. They just drew with Fulham. You know, they've lost games. They have a problem, but it's like, no, that's not their main issue. Their main issue is controlling the narrative. Jesus Christ, man. Holy hell. Like, people need to get a grip. They really do sometimes when they're talking about football. They really need to get a grip. Like, narrative this. Now, everything's narrative. Everything is explained away by, oh, that's just narrative. Right, okay. Cool.
I get what you're saying. But it's this. I think that's the same thing as when I said about ambition. How many times do you hear the word ambition? That's why I brought it up in our session of Room 101. Ambition is always spoken on, whether it's like whatever's if you don't get the player that you want, or you don't get this, or we don't do this or do that, and then we utilize hindsight. Oh, you don't have the ambition. You got to show ambition for this. You got to show ambition for that. And I'm just like, that's such an overused word. Such an overused. Like we all,
well, at least
ambition is obvious.
But at least ambition has a meaning. You know what it means? It means being ambitious. It means wanting to do better. But like, what the hell is narrative? Like, narrative is just what people say about you. There isn't a narrative that's been constructed, and then that's what's going to happen. But you've got these guys out there, man. And like Lawrence isn't even. It is Lawrence, right? I'm not sure about that guy at all. Man. Really not sure.
He's
a Liverpool fan, right?
This is his parents, Lawrence.
Yeah,
Lawrence actually does. Lawrence does actually. When I am on his, I'm not physically on his show, obviously, but when I am in the chat, he does pull up a lot of my statements and interacts with them a lot. To be honest with you, I'm not saying we're friends, not saying we're pals.
Yeah, cool.
But
tell him he talks shite. Tell him he was talking shite about Arsenal.
Oh, but trust me, I will. I do bring up sometimes. I do go head to head with him with some of his points. Sometimes I think he's getting too. Sometimes I think he gets. Sometimes I think he does. He comes very close to being similar to what Terry does with Arsenal. He'll bring up things where you're just like, at times you're like, I know you're a fan of this club, but from what you're saying doesn't sound like, it really sounds suspect. That's best I can put it. And he knows it, I think. Maybe sometimes that's just him just thinking, getting too deeply intellectual with some of his points and the likes. Because today Terry was doing it himself. He was doing it all himself too. I mean, sitting there and telling him, I'm like, look, I know that Amarin had like a full head of hair, but I mean, it's not easy to be the Liverpool, to be the Manchester United coach. It'll make you lose your hair quickly. So it's pulling it out, it's dropping out. It's just crazy. Things happen. But that's beyond that narrative. Just joking. Didn't Pep just walk by him that bad? He isn't walking on a public footpath. I think what the point about the Pep thing, real quick, Robert, was the fact that like he's just walking. I don't know where he was walking to, what he's doing, but he's in his like walk of life. He's in his daily walk of life. For you to approach someone like that, that's maybe over the line. If you're at the stadium and you're saying you're gonna get sacked in the morning or something like that, that's, in my opinion, a little different story. That's banter that you're gonna see and hear. But to go as far as that is pretty wild. There was something else too in the show. Let's see if I can find it here for you.
Yeah, but you got to understand, he's like the best manager in the world, and he's going to get a lot of people coming up to him trying to give it cheeky. Some will probably be nice to him. What it is this time, someone's filmed it. It is. I can imagine that sort of thing happens to maybe him quite a lot, maybe. But for me, you got to sort of chill in that sort of situation. You could have laughed. Like last when we played City, all the fans were singing "You're gonna get sacked in the morning." He turned around, put 6 fingers up. You know what I mean? Like I won 6 Premier League, so a bit of banter in that way is pretty cool, But I think the guy who's filming, he probably got proper scared after when Pep was gonna come running at him, man.
Yeah.
But the accent, the guy talking sounds Scouse. But someone said to me that was from the Man United Man City FA Cup game. But the accent sounds like he's from Liverpool. It's mad.
Oh well, if that's from the FA Cup game, that's from last year. Then that's a different story.
Yeah,
I don't see why why would I don't know why would Pep would get so heated about that. And I can understand him. He doesn't like to lose. I understand it completely.
He don't.
But
He's the number one guy. He don't like losing. Hence why he's been
and that's,
successful.
I mean, like, no, I mean, you know, they said the same about Klopp. So I mean, like, that's understandable. And then, why would you never would want a coach that accepts nor is, you know, comfortable with losing. As you find how they say it, you find someone that is comfortable with losing. I'll find you someone that's never won, or something like what was this? Something like some saying like that.
Oh, something like show me a happy loser, I'll show you a loser, basically.
Yeah, something like yeah. Absolute funny situations today. Again, just absolutely funny situations. Absolute funny situations. Good old Gooners. VAR, as you say, football is a humbler. Football is a humbler. That's tough.
Well, for them, I mean, that's their moment now. They've been getting a lot of stick. These kind of funny comparisons with Pulis and all that. I thought Arteta, for once in his life, he actually handled that quite well. Because that Stoke is a very touchy subject for a lot of Arsenal fans. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a good blue steel he's got there. Not bad. But this is 6 years now, isn't it? 6 years with him there, and they're still coming capable of having results like this on a weekend, like where you've got. Now I do know I was being a bit disingenuous, but this is what Lawrence was trying his best to get at, but he couldn't do it without sounding like a bit of a twat. Mm-hmm. He was saying they had an opportunity to show people that when their rivals, I say, well, City draw points, but then we sort of give them a gap. We lose a game, we leave a points gap on the board for them, and they fail to take that opportunity. Yet again, they fail to take their opportunities when they're handed to them, which is really what I've always kind of felt about Arsenal. But they don't really. I mean, they start Trossard today. They start Kivior, I think, today. They just don't have it for me. They'll never have that kind of over the line mentality. I think whatever it is with Arteta, I think maybe he can get them a certain place, but he can't get them to relax. I don't think he can get them to relax. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. They just keep tightening up and tensing up at these kind of moments. We all know Fulham are a good team, but that to me is kind of that result today is kind of Arsenal in a nutshell. When it's there for you to go out and say, Liverpool, we're going to put some points on the board. Man City, you drop some points. Chelsea, you have to go and do something. And they just go and do that. Really, that's why I've never feared them much at all. They're just a good team, but they're not elite.
Yeah, definitely. It takes it, and it's also takes a lot to it takes a lot to get not only your team over the line, but VAR is not easy to deal with in today's game, to be honest with you. It really isn't. I mean, ultimately they get the right call. They'll get it right with some 90% of the time or something like that. But it also, you have moments like that where you think that your team has just won or has scored an incredible goal, and then VAR can all by, you know, the front of a boot, take it all away, and that's what happened basically today for them.
He could see the line though.
You could.
He could. I mean, Martinelli could. Martinelli, there was no need for Martinelli to be offside. He could see the line.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went early, so it's his fault.
He went early, just to get the advantage.
Yeah, and he didn't need to. Not need to.
Nope.
Do you just also?
Okay. Finish up.
No, it's just I was reading a minute by minute, and the guy, and again, like I said, this is just the feelings that some people have, that they understand VAR and that his here saying it will work, but he says they can never really get on board with something that takes away one of the most joyous feelings known to humanity, which is your team scoring a goal and you instantly celebrating it. This whole thing where you have to go, oh no, wait, now hang on a minute. It's just sort of, yeah, that kind of thing. Hard for me to deal with as well, but they got the right call. They got the, and we're happy. You know, Rob is saying Fulham scored from their only chance, and that's very Arsenal as well. Like, I used to hate when we used to do that all the time when we were shit. We'd play teams and they'd get one chance and they'd score it. Like, we'd fail to break them down, but we'd be playing well and we'd play against some crappy team. They get one chance. Of course they'd take it. They always take them. I think that says a lot about them as well, about Arsenal. I think you're on mute, 12 man.
I bet. David Arnstein, Liverpool make opening contract offer to Mohamed Salah. Does not mean agreement done or close. Any outcome expected to take time. But Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold all now have received proposals and talks with LFC are ongoing. There have been some reports that there's been that leak from his friend and everything else. We're going to see what's going to happen with that. It should be pretty interesting. Realism Jarrett's comment here is what I was about to bring up. How did Caicedo not get a red card? I honestly can't wait for AI and robot refs. At times, I agree with you. At times, I can agree.
Didn't see that one. Was it a bad one? Was it an obvious one? Was it a bad tag? Was it?
Yeah, it basically was. It looked. I'll bring it up for you actually.
Well, if you have a video, I don't do stills. Anything can look bad in a still.
All right, well, then don't.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No, I know.
But I mean, like, it basically that was
Disgusting.
That was the impact of cleats to his right to his shin, and how it wasn't called, and it was only took 10 seconds for VAR looked at it for like about 10 seconds and then just moved on. But yet, you know,
who's that? Is that Solanke? No, that's not Solanke.
No.
Who's he crushing? Oh, that's that Sarr guy. Sarr, yes, that's Sarr guy. Yeah.
But it's the sheer fact that, you know, that a very similar challenge for it wasn't even given a yellow. It wasn't given as a yellow card or as a dangerous foul on the pitch. VAR looked at it, didn't assess it to be. VAR can't give yellow cards, so that I understand, but they can give red cards. It was a reckless tackle, and it was dangerous. Caicedo, I'm telling you, is not as he has a lot of dangerous tackles that he's put in. He put a bunch of dangerous tackles against us. I've seen countless. He's been definitely yellow carded quite a few times this season with reckless tackles, and I don't know how he gets away with a lot of them, but he has. And this is just another one. So it's pretty sad to see. And he's a good player. He's a talented player, but sometimes he gets extremely careless, and that was a careless tackle. But yet, if that was Curtis Jones, that's a yellow card going to becoming a red. For slipping off the top of the ball and going into the player's shin, as opposed to not even making contact with the ball, being late to the tackle, and having that be the result. That's shameful.
I was just looking up Bernie saying there. That's a bit of a gap. That's a bit of
What's that?
pay gap. Well, I don't know. It's copish. She just ain't copy. I don't know. Oh, they're saying the Spanish newspapers. Yeah, why would a Spanish newspaper know what's going on?
I think that's, if anything,
Yeah,
if it's a
that's
Spanish
bollocks.
newspaper, they're just most likely making it where you're making more trouble than it's worth, trying to cause some controversy or something.
Yeah, no, there's not, if yeah, I know, like you're saying, Bertie, exactly. I'm sure, like usual, he'll be looking for a bit more than we're offering, and we'll come to an agreement. But at least it's good news to hear that these things are being discussed now. At least it seems like they're happy for it to be out there that deals are being done, or deals are being discussed. All three are around the table, as it were.
Definitely.
I was surprised though when that Virgil news came out the first time that he turned down an offer. That did surprise me a little bit.
Okay. Looking at some of these chats here. They're arguing if it's a yellow or not, or a red or not. Excuse me. They're also. I think everyone concedes it's a yellow, but whether it was a red. I mean, the
Typical Spurs again. Typical Spurs again. We said that would be a game to watch.
I'm trying to see if I.
Crazy comeback, 7 goals. Tottenham throwing away leads. Pretty much.
It was a
everything
messy one last season as well, isn't it, Brian? Remember last season when I think they got red card and they still went forward like madheads and they got battered 4-1 or something. Can't remember what it was exactly, but I know that last season they got beat by Chelsea. So we got them. Basuma suspended for his next game because he got yellow. I think they got Southampton, Tottenham. So we've got them after. So yep, should be okay.
I'm happy to play them. They give you chances all day. They'll give you chances.
They'll give you chances all day. And Romero came off, and Van de Ven came off as well. And they just come back from injury, so it looks like they'll be out again.
Well, yeah, because that was the talk last night, wasn't it? Everybody was out, and then I saw today, I was like, wow, they're all back. They're definitely being rushed back. If yesterday everybody thought they're going to be out, and today they're all starting, yeah, it sounds like they did come back early, but I think Mo Salah will have a lot of fun against them. They cannot defend this. Well, they don't even try and defend. They just attack. It's like, okay, lads, you're leaving a lot of space, but I think Mo will have a field day against Spurs. Mo and Trent, all that space in behind. Can you just imagine it? All that space in behind, Trent just pinging little balls over the top for Mo.
Well, that's the one unique. That's the one unique.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No. I was gonna just add to your point that's the one unique thing about this postponement. Yes, it is not ideal because it makes a already congested schedule that more congested for us. A lot of people are commenting on the fact of when is this game going to be played. I did watch a piece by David Lynch. I did see a couple other articles that I read as well as to when the opening dates are going to be for us. And we could get a game. We could play it on New Year's Day, but that was in David Lynch's, and I said this before even I saw the piece, but like I thought, David Lynch kind of confirmed it too, is that playing a derby on New Year's would be relatively difficult simply because it's a bank holiday. It's like getting police officers to be enough police officers for the match would be definitely a little bit more difficult. The sheer fact that they're working on a holiday makes it that much more of an issue because, you do get paid extra on holidays normally. And if you have to work them at least. And there are some other dates that could subside to us being able to play in them, but it still would be a case where we have it's still not exactly the same as, in my opinion, as well as Dave Lynch's opinion, it's still not the same as having played Real Madrid, City, and then having to play basically, a derby, which is, despite the fact that Everton isn't on the same quote unquote level as Liverpool, it still would have been a very, very difficult match. That's 3 consecutive weeks of, or 3 consecutive games, I should say, of very, very tough settings when it comes to having to not ratchet up the intensity for these games. Or I should say not 3 consecutive, but there are three games relatively close enough. I would say 4 games actually then, because Newcastle was a tough game too. Tough settings. And now that we do have the little bit of the break, we do have at least. It does suck that we won't have Maka in the Fulham game, but it's a home game, which is promising, because then at least the 12th man at Anfield could possibly throw the extra little bit of emphasis and support towards whoever is going to be playing in Maka's absence. And on top of that, there has been news that Diego and Ali are back, which is great to hear. Very, very, very promising to hear. And we could have those players ready for that Everton matchup whenever it is in January. That would be fantastic as well. I don't know if you guys think your takes on it. I know, Brian, you were just I interrupted you by accident, but
no, you're cool. You're cool. No, that's a good point. If you're asking, like we say, like a lot of these things come down to, like you're in the events business. If you want to put on a live event, if it can't be policed or if there can't be any security there, then it ain't going to happen. You have to have things in place, like everybody can show up, but if there's nobody to do the traffic, you have to have all that shit in place before they let large events go ahead. So on the day after New Year's Eve, which would be a big night for the police anyway, to then have get a load of police in again to police that game, I think it might even come down to money, because like you said, all those cops are on overtime. These are special duties for them, all of that stuff. So that would make sense to me, that there is an issue with that. Because as soon as you pull the policing, that's why the police, they have a lot of power that they don't like to kind of make a big deal about, especially when it comes to Liverpool games, and they've never really let it go. That's why they like to fuck with us a little bit, because the police know they, at the end of the day, have a power to stop. They have the power to stop a match going ahead. They can. They just can. They'll do it through the city council or whatever, but they'll be the one that says this shouldn't be going ahead. We won't be able, and if you do try and put that, we will not be able to supply enough police for it. Therefore, it'd be unsafe, and they can just kill your game. I think they've always had that little bit residual towards Liverpool for that. And again, do you want to be getting up on New Year's Day and go and watch a match? Some people probably would. But after a long week of Christmas and all of that, money's probably a bit scarce. You spent all your money before Christmas. You've been partying over Christmas, and you've been partying on New Year's Eve, maybe. And then the next day you have a match. And it's supposed to be the last ever derby at Goodison. Maybe you could have a better day. Yeah, maybe you could have a better day.
Certainly. Do you guys have a preference or opinion on that, Levante?
Yeah, what was in regards to, sorry, Toph?
Just talking about with the fixture not being played with the fixture not being played for the derby and it being moved, like, the complexities that are involved, but like it certainly is a benefit for us, despite the fact that it's a slight benefit, but it's not as a huge of a benefit as we all want, which is to have already gotten 3 points and kept it moving. But now that we do have this fixture that's going to be moved into a January, probably a January spot, because it most likely just can't be put into a December. There's like no spots available really in December.
No, there wouldn't be. No.
So now with that, and how I was saying how January probably won't be one because of it being a bank holiday and being very difficult to kind of like measure. And Brian was talking about how police officers or the police do have some of a high say. I mean, how they have a say in sometimes what time of day we even play in sometimes. So. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I think whether we play January, February, March, April, May, it is what it is. Really, this is what you do when you're challenging for trophies. Nothing's going to be perfect. Something might happen. You got to fit the fixture in. So I don't have a preference, if I'm honest. 12. We play it when we do it, and we grab the win. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you. I think I can show at least. I'll show you at least like quick snippet of this, so I don't get like in trouble for it. It'll be less than 5-6 seconds. This was check, make sure. Oh. So this is the challenge. Audio anyway. This was the challenge. This is he's getting fouled there. Again, let's see if I can tell you. This is again the challenge that was called not a yellow card, nor I don't even know if it was called a foul, to tell you the truth. I don't remember if it was called a foul or not, but it was not a yellow card. So pretty lucky.
Yeah, sorry,
lucky.
what's Kevin saying? EPL won't be taking Spurs fans' behavior lightly. -5 points for toffees. What did I don't care. EPL won't be taking Spurs fans' behavior lightly.
Yeah, chucking stuff on the corner, when they were taking corners. Chelsea players.
Right.
Yeah, all objects.
Right.
Oh
right.
yeah, with the throwing things onto the pitch. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't know
quite a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
It was paper. It was paper. It wasn't nothing like solid or anything. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was like just a bunch of rubbish, but it still was, it was still something that they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
I'll show you what that
No
was.
pig's heads anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Cole Palmer.
Ice cold. Yeah.
I'll tell you this much: if for the game being postponed, for those of us that have not exactly the greatest of benches and also have quite a few reds in our starting lineups for fantasy, I don't know if it was good one. I didn't even check my score yet, but I'm sure that's probably going to affect me pretty badly. Paper cuts are painful. Oh, yeah, paper cuts are painful. Yes, they couldn't be. They can be. I don't know how that wasn't a foul, to be honest with you. I just don't know how it was.
Yeah, paper cuts.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like I don't really fear Chelsea. I don't really worry about Chelsea. Look at that defending, bro. Today.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like we beat them already 2-1 at Anfield. I'll take that. But I don't worry about Man City. I worry more Chelsea. I think Arsenal are a better team than Chelsea are. I think Chelsea are sort of their attacking players are sort of playing okay, Like for me, Palmer overrated. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's that good in the big games. Like today, he got 2 penalties. Other than that, he didn't really do nothing. He didn't do nothing in the Arsenal game. He
No,
didn't
he
do
set
nothing
up.
against us.
He did have. He set up the goal for the go-ahead goal. That was his assist.
Was it his assist? Okay, he got an assist and he got 2 penalties. Cool. But other than that, he wasn't great.
he won the
He wasn't
Nobel
great.
Prize, and he cured cancer. And but other than that, what's
Yeah.
so far?
I'm just making it in context. Yeah.
No, I know what you mean, but I just don't feel he's that type of player. I don't think he's for like. I wouldn't want him at Liverpool, for example. If he came through the youth system, no problem. But I'm not a big fan of his. I'm not just a big fan of his. Like I know Brian likes him; he's a good player and stuff.
I do.
But yeah, I just think he's a bit slow.
Well, I think
for
he's
me.
a good player, and he looks like a bit of a dick, but I think he's a good player. Very much I did hear from day one, and it won't come as a shock to anybody because this is how you get where you get in a world like football. But even in a world, I can't remember someone saying like even in a world of extremely confident young men, he stood out in terms of his confidence and his belief in himself, which is a very kind way of saying this guy really thinks a lot of himself. Like he'd walk up to Messi and go, "I'm on pens, dude. What are you doing?" You know, that's just the kind of kid he is. That's the kind of character he is, which would probably help him go far, you know. But he did explosive impact. But I have seen it pointed out as well that he doesn't have the best record in bigger games and all of that. But yeah, I think hard to. I'm not going to go the whole hog on him. I won't go the whole hog on him, but he has been incredibly impressive the last 10 year and a half kind of thing.
Yeah, he has been very impressive, and I know that despite what City fans say about him, I'm sure they wouldn't mind having him back.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't mind some of that. Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind having him back right now. Who else was who else was it? There was someone else that was got 1 second. Yeah, it was Neto. Neto got the Sancho is a jerk.
Good goal though by him.
Yeah, he is. It was a good goal. There's a little extra with the whole like throwing the corner flag thing. That was a little extra. That was a little disrespectful. Yeah, Neto got a yellow card today, so he's now going to be suspended for the Chelsea's next game. I can understand what you're saying too about Chelsea are now only 4 points, considering we have that game. We have a game in hand, so they are only 4 points behind us now. I don't think anyone really probably foresaw us being in a title race with Chelsea, and even their coach has said that they aren't in a title race. But yeah.
No, I think defensively they'll be pretty poor. But I don't really worry about Chelsea. That's the thing. I think it's about time after the amount of money they've spent that they showed a little bit of fight. You know what I mean? Like how many years have they spent that money over the last 2-3 years, and they've not shown anything for it? They're playing in the Europa Conference League. You know, like it's weird. They're playing on Thursday nights and stuff, but it's about time they showed something on the pitch. You know, if you're a Chelsea fan, you'd be good. They're like Chelsea fans right now, happy as Larry. You know, we're back and all this. Even the commentators in the media. This time last year, they were making fun of Chelsea. This year, are Chelsea a threat to Liverpool and this and that? Yeah. It's about time, man.
Yeah. Let me check this too. Yeah, we did. I think this is Gunnar Lee right there. I think this is Gunnar Lee right here. On the right, I believe that's Goonerly. On the right. This is them reacting to the goal. Oh, what straight agony they were going through. Straight agony. But I have no tears for them. None whatsoever. Whether you're United, whether you're Arsenal, they would be every moment they look to try to relish in our defeats. Yeah. And also, there is a Korean supporter of Manchester United who is absolutely
RIP headphones users in advance. RIP headphones users if he's going to play a clip of a Korean fan.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Oh, it's a he, is it?
Okay. There's no audio for it, so
I think out of all the internet world, United fans are the worst crybabies. Have you noticed? Their fans, some of them, too funny. Oh God! They put a sensor on it. Oh, it's too funny.
Where's he going? Where's he going?
Like left. I don't know.
Where are you going, dude? Someone's got to pick up all those balls. Who's going to clean up your mess?
I know.
He's just made a mess and fucked off.
The simple fact that he has.
Did he have a bag of balls just for that reason? I mean,
I guess, but the simple fact that he has a framed Bruno Fernandes kit in the back. Like there's nothing but like manga or whatever that is in the back. A picture of I don't know who that's a picture of. And then if that's him or not, not all due respect, I don't know if that's like who that's a picture of, but under that picture is a picture of Bruno or a framed Bruno Fernandes. No, you deserve everything you got today. You deserve everything you got today. Bruno Fernandes and his crying eyes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The best thing I can say about Manchester United is that they have well and truly dropped off my radar. They don't even ping anymore. They have nothing to do with what we're doing. What we're doing right now used to involve them. They'd be one of those teams. They'd be Chelsea or they'd be Arsenal. We're playing what we're doing right now and what they're doing. It's like we're in two different leagues. We are literally in two different leagues. Yeah, they have no impact, and I can never that's probably the best thing I can say is Manchester United now no longer have any impact whatsoever on me footballing, and they used to be. It just used to be in my face every freaking day. Man United this, Man United that, laughing at Liverpool, taking the piss out of Liverpool fans, telling us we'll never be back and they're going to win everything for the next 2 millenniums, and it'll never change because they're the biggest club in the world and they've sorted it now. And you may as well forget, like, well, oh, Liverpool fan, why do you still care about Liverpool? You're never going to win anything again. Yeah. Okay. That's what I grew up with. So now the fact that they don't even come into my daily thinking in terms of, oh, well, if they win or, if, I'm thinking, oh, if Arsenal get a win this weekend, I don't want them to win. I couldn't give a shit what Man United do because it won't impact us. It will not impact what we're doing. And that is the best thing I can possibly say about them. They're irrelevant to me now, completely and utterly irrelevant.
Yep.
And when you look at the signings, I think someone wrote them down in the chat and stuff. They spent big this summer again. They're always spending big, Man United. So something's wrong with the club. They're called Red Devils. Maybe that's it. They should be called Red Angels if they want to change anything going on there. No, they shouldn't. Stay as Red Devils, better for them.
They just be called insignificant. How about that?
Yeah, but what did they buy, man? What did they buy with that money? Xerxes, Mazraoui, Delict, Yarrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me bring up Dara's question real quick so I don't forget it again. And then I also have something else to share too. He's asking me a question for myself, and I assume the panel too. Why is it always Fulham that seems to sign the best American players? Robinson wasn't meant today. I think it's because they have such a rich streamline of heritage with American players. In the era when like American players were not necessarily given a real opportunity or chance to play abroad, whether it was Brian McBride, whether it was Clint Dempsey, whether it was I think else they had gold. Let's say Bocanegra played there too. Bocanegra played there, I think. But there's a host of players. Obviously, Jedi plays there, who's Anthony Robinson. There is a host of players that have come through Fulham and played well for them too, by the way. They really have excelled. Tim Ream, another player for Fulham. He's made it. It's just an opportunity that was very fleeting when teams should have been giving them the chance, but because they're American, they just weren't given the same opportunities. And
That's controversial.
maybe it's PR or not, but it's not controversial actually. Players have said it. American players have openly said it. It's not controversial.
Well, no, that's still controversial to say that they weren't given a chance because they were American, purely because they're American.
It's not controversial. It's facts. Like as in that, that's
could be.
like players. Like it'd be one thing. It'd be controversial if you're looking from the outside with no context. I'm talking about players giving you context. They've said
they're just saying they weren't given the chance because they were American. I said that is a controversial thing to say to someone. Like you say, without just as a, or if you want to say controversial, inflammatory, it's a big say. I just always thought it was something to do with your man. What's his name? Saeed Khan, wasn't it? The guy he owned the Jackson.
Yeah, he's American.
Yeah.
Pakistani.
Yeah. I think that was one. I always thought that was one of the reasons why.
That could be a reason. That could be a reason.
No, it was Michael Jackson coming there, bro.
One of the links. It was one of the links, I suppose.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah, Michael Jackson was connected to Fulham. That was one of the main reasons with Dodi fired. He came over, and what happened was there was a statue of Michael Jackson outside. And then the new guy, Khan, he got rid of that statue.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought it was because he had kind of not influence. What would you call like connections in America was why some of them went that way. I didn't like, and again, London, I suppose. But no, they are very. It is like it's like Celtic in Scotland. Celtic even right now have two of their better players are Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the list of Japanese players who've gone abroad, look at the amount of them that have gone to Celtic. Like Japan and Scotland, you couldn't think of probably two more different places.
Mm-hmm.
But some clubs, they just establish these links and these connections without a doubt. The Fulham and American thing is definitely strong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always thought. Do you not remember the Michael Jackson statue outside Fulham? No,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Yeah,
outside Craven Cottage. Yeah. Because it was ties with Al-Fayed.
Yeah, he was best mates with Al-Fayed, the guy who
came to the ground,
That's cool.
Yeah, the old that was
who's bad?
I thought maybe it was did he have a concert there?
Well, no, see, Michael Jackson would always come over and stay in London and go on these huge shopping sprees.
Oh, I know. I was thinking maybe he had a concert there or something. Maybe set a record or something.
No, he would
just friends with Fayed.
Yeah, just to visit.
Yeah, he'd go like Harrods is like the
Selfridges.
The main place. So he'd go there and Al-Fayed would like make a big deal out of him. So they became friends. Then Jackson went to a couple of Fulham games.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, because Michael Jackson is not exactly like a sports fan.
No,
Yeah, but imagine he
was
was a
that
Man
day.
United fan.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
that
would he
day.
get
I
it?
mean, there are
Oh.
artists that do like sports that you probably wouldn't think like sports. Prince likes sports too. He's good at basketball.
Well, not
I would
anymore.
obey him and Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that story.
Red Armchair
they
supporter, he
waxed
told
him
them to
and brought
beat
him in
it.
for pancakes.
Exactly. He slam dunked on Murphy's head.
Oh gosh, that was one.
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
Oh man. Yeah, that's one. Charlie Murphy. What were you gonna say? Go ahead, JK.
No, I'm just saying, Red Armchair supporter, he told them to beat it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. He did.
Indeed, yeah.
He
He told him
did.
who's bad and beat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's bad?
Yeah.
Do you think
He
Charlie
saw-
Murphy was funnier than Eddie? I think he was.
Charlie Murphy had a lot of funny stories. I don't know if he's funnier than Eddie Murphy.
I like watching Charlie more than Eddie. I like when Charlie was on screen. He just used to. I used to cry, man. He was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
They're both funny in their own way.
I mean, some of the best stand-ups. I personally think some of the best stand-ups of all time are either Eddie Murphy Delirious or even Eddie Murphy Raw are two of the. They're some of the funniest.
Yeah,
stand-ups.
Delirious or Raw. Yeah.
That was during an era when like not many comedians could make a movie out of their stand-up,
Yeah.
and you would go watch a stand-up in a theater. Like that's last one was probably like, or last one to do it so well was Richard Pryor probably.
Right. Yeah.
Live
On the foot. Yeah.
Live to
Yeah.
Sunset Strip. That was like decades after, or before I should say, before Eddie Murphy ever did it. But those stand-ups, the stand-ups were hilarious.
Who's your favorite stand-up comedian from America, for example?
Currently or of all time?
Of all time and just in general.
I mean, I like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Hilarious.
he's hilarious.
Dave Chappelle's
The Dave
hilarious.
Chappelle show.
Yeah, probably because I
Ah.
grew up on the Chappelle show. That's being like something I love to see and watch. I think who else could be. He could be in there.
Like Cat Williams is funny.
Mm-hmm.
There was that big guy. What's his name? Ariel?
Oh, Ariel Spears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He does
That's really
sound
funny.
bites of musicians, famous artists, and stuff like that. He does the impersonation.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
And there's even a bigger guy than him. What's his name? I think he was in Breaking Bad as well. This big guy. Oh, what's his name?
I don't know if he's a comedian. I know. I think he is a comedian, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's funny. He's funny. I need to find out his name one second.
JK's off to do some research.
Yeah, I'll have to do some research. Yeah. What is it? Yeah, Chappelle. Bill Burr is funny. Bill Burr is funny as well. Who else? Robin
Lavelle
Williams.
Crawford.
Robin Williams was funny. Who was it?
Lavelle Crawford.
Okay.
What did you Google?
No, I just went Breaking Bad and I seen his face there in all the cast. Yeah.
Okay.
There's his app.
I
Yeah,
was
it's called
wondering what your
IMDb.
Yeah.
And but he's a really funny guy though. And the other guy, bro, there was this skinny guy.
Bernie Mac was probably. I don't know.
Oh, Bernie Mac was cool. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah. One of Lawrence.
Red Fox is hilarious too.
Yeah.
Old Red Fox is like hilarious too. It's pretty wild what he got away with in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely so. Patrice O'Neill, he's very controversial, but I think he's funny. He's no longer with us too. Rest in peace as well. But
Eddie Griffin. Eddie's funny.
Eddie Griffin is
Eddie
funny.
Griffin. He's
Eddie
funny,
Griffin's
bro.
funny.
Yeah, he's real
Fifth
good.
Cat
Comedy
Williams is
Jam.
funny too. Cat Williams is very funny too. He's very funny.
Yeah, it's coming for the head tops.
Cat Williams was here and he was here for an event. I think it was like Super Bowl or no, it was Super Bowl, I think, or something like that. And he was like in a drop top Porsche driving down the road, and he was going not the wrong way, but he was trying to find his hotel. He couldn't find it, and he was just like pulling over, asking people where he was going. And I was just like, I remember because because I saw him and I was like, that's Cat Williams.
Okay.
And he asked me he named a road, and I didn't know what the road was, so I couldn't necessarily help him. And like, but he was looking for like the W Hotel, so I was like, I know where the W Hotel is, but I don't know where that road is. And, but it was kind of funny. But he was like out driving, dropped, with the top down. For him and like 3 other people in a drop top Porsche. I'm like, all right,
It don't look right.
it doesn't look right because those back seats in a Porsche are not comfortable at all. This is like, you might as well just call it like an extension of the trunk, because that's basically what it is. It's not really comfortable. It's kind of funny. Oh man, but big up Cat Williams. Yeah. What else is, guys? So what else is on your mind? There was something else I was going to bring up that I got kind of sidetracked when we started talking about Fulham and about comedians here. But George Carlin.
It's a Sunday show, isn't it?
Yeah. No, George Carlin was
Sunday
definitely ahead of his time. George Carlin. Yeah. I was trying to bring up something else too, but now I can't think of what it was off the top of my head. It was something that was in the chat that I saw. Oh, Chris Rock is funny. Definitely Chris Rock is funny. Some comedians are funny by just they can just tell you stories or they can even tell you about stuff. They can give you satire and they can like really make it hilarious. And then there's some that are like comedically gifted, but I wouldn't go see them. They're like comedic actors, but they're not comedians, Yeah. Certainly like that. Chris Tucker's a great actor. Definitely a great actor. Who else did we have there? Chris Tucker. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to bring up. Let me see if I can find it too real quick, because I did see something. I was talking about Virgil and his movie. I never knew that Virgil was in the movie yesterday until I saw him yesterday. Will Smith disagrees. Yeah, Will Smith definitely does not agree with Chris Tucker's humor, for sure. Right, armchair supporter. He definitely doesn't agree with his sense of humor. And what's sad about it is that Will Smith was laughing at the joke initially, and then he kind of like changed it up when he saw his wife didn't exactly enjoy it.
She gave him the look.
Yeah. She was,
but man made a fool of himself there, and they're not even married. They've been married for like 15 years, and he's still going around throwing slaps on her behalf in front of like millions of people.
Yeah.
That was so kind of, obviously it wasn't fake, but it was so performative that it seemed fake. That's not a natural thing. Like if you make a joke, if we're all in a room together and you make a joke and I'm laughing about it, and then 30 seconds later I want to kick your ass because of it, like that's fake. That's because someone else said I didn't like that. It's like you thought it was funny, you were laughing. You're there at the Oscars, it's Chris Rock. Yeah, probably a bit of a lowish blow. But after all the stuff you
Oh,
heard about her
absolutely.
afterwards, I'm like, well, kind of screw her. She doesn't seem like the nicest person on the planet either.
Mhm.
So maybe take a joke, or I thought it was a decent joke. But yeah, you could probably have edited it out.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a bizarre situation. And even the way Rock kind of took the slap, it was very stuntman-y.
Not practiced.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Possibly.
yeah, it's just the way he
Isn't
kind
it
of.
some-
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Pre-rehearsed problems. That's how I call it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in the world when you're famous, you got to keep in the limelight, and I think these sort of situations sort of arise, and actors will go along with it. You know why? It keeps their name in the limelight.
Mhm.
Embarrassing for me. Like for me, they're actors, so when they get told to do something, they'll do it for the money. A lot of actors, the green agenda and stuff like that, they'll back it because why? They're getting told to do it and they get paid for it. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that was pre-rehearsed or anything like that. I'm not gonna go that far, but I definitely will say that it was pretty cringeworthy to see him react like that. Was pretty
oh,
sad.
incredibly cringy. Yeah.
And after Fresh
So,
Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith was like president status for a lot of people around the world. And ever since
yeah.
Fresh Prince has happened, he's gone downhill. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like
To be
Fresh Prince,
honest,
was he
man,
originally from Philly? Mm-hmm.
yeah, from West
I'm
Philadelphia,
sure.
born and raised on a playground is where I
Yeah,
spent
born and
most of my
raised.
days with some
Yes.
b-ball outside of school and a couple of guys. They were up to no
There you
good.
go.
How to make
There
a
you
trouble
go.
in my neighborhood. Got one
There
little
you go.
fight. My mom got scared. She said, "You're moving with your auntie and your uncle in Bel Air."
Yeah. There you go.
Mm.
You know it's pretty bad for Arsenal. I will admit this too. You know it's pretty bad for Arsenal when
Will Smith's playing up front.
Will Smith's playing up front. Yeah, that too. That too.
And Jada's in
Or
defensive midfielder.
I was gonna say when even Everton is making fun of you, that's
Oh.
pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I'll show you what I mean by that. This is the Arteta years. That's pretty bad. This is the Everton fan making fun of him, not Liverpool fan, Everton fan. That's so bad. Like that's where you've gone to.
That's how you know.
That's where you've gone. Yeah,
That's how
when
you know.
Yeah, this has gotten pretty bad. This has gotten pretty bad. But to each is their own.
Yeah, they're clicking on that and thinking, "Oh, typical Liverpool fan having a laugh at us." No, hey, it ain't even us, lads. It ain't even us. It's teams in the relegation zone are taking.
That's not even us.
Right
that's
now.
the Everton fan. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy has Sean Dyche for a
that's pretty
manager, and he's
sad.
taking the piss out of you for being defensive.
Yeah. That's pretty sad. And I mean, like, geez, I know it was bad, but apparently this is Arsenal. Try to do apparently their best Spurs impersonation, but I guess you could put Arsenal or Spurs in this situation, but apparently.
Oh, Stephen.
Basically,
come on, man, you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get. Oh,
you'll get there. You'll get there. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I'd love to put some techno or drum and bass on top of that. You know, on top of him doing that. That's gonna be too funny. Oh, I'm gonna do that.
I don't know if that was Arteta or not. That might be Arteta. Maybe that might have been Arteta. I don't know. I'd have to look a little closer. Egal is not going to. He's being suspect right now. Very much suspect.
Egal in German. Mm-hmm. Egal in German means don't matter.
Oh, really?
Egal. Yeah, it means doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
mad and kind of similar to his team.
Relevant. There you go.
Really don't matter because they've been talking all that chest, talking about how Liverpool's they just aren't going to be able to win, and and they're not going to be able to sustain it, and they haven't had injuries, and I'm like, what are you watching, man? The sheer fact that you don't think that we've had injuries and had to sustain some of the ups and downs of trying to navigate the injuries that we've had is silly. Absolutely silly when you hear that talk. Also, you know what I wanted to say too? I don't know. I didn't see Callum in the chat, but happy birthday, Callum. I did just remember. It was your birthday yesterday, I believe. We said it before. We said it on Friday because you said your birthday was on Saturday, but we didn't. I don't think we didn't have a. I didn't. At least I didn't partake in the roll call because there was no game. I know that the guys held it down here, but if you're out there, Callum, happy birthday again.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. Yep. You would
The
look
big
for 3
1-9.
points, but the game got
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the big 1-9. So happy
I
birthday.
can't remember if he was there yesterday morning. He probably was.
Okay. Yeah,
I
there's
heard that kid with the stupid name that flew all the way from Australia to see the game. Mackenzie, that was his name, Mackenzie. He got invited to training. I mean, like, you don't need to make it worse for the kid. He flew all the way, to watch a Liverpool match, at Everton. And now, to make up for missing that game, they went and invited him to an Everton training session. And nobody needs to see that. He's already traumatized enough. He doesn't need to watch that.
Why do you want to see? Why do you want to see like 2 hours of practicing quarterbacks?
You know what it is? He's a free signing.
Weather's bad. It's cold.
Yeah. He wants to see
He's a free
that.
signing, bro. It's like, there's no fee involved. He's training for the next game. He is. He's playing up front instead of Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah. The best thing about that story.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing about that story, I've read it a couple of times now, and it's his mum's from Liverpool, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's an Everton fan, and they've been here before, and recently, and he wanted to go back, and she was like, "Look, we've just been like Australia to England. That costs a lot of money, so we can't just go back straight away." And so he was like, "Oh, okay, cool," because she's saying, "Look, I don't have enough time to save up all the money it's going to take again."
Mm-hmm.
So he's 15 years old, by the way.
Okay.
He's only 15, right? So he saves up the money on his own, right? And then he asks her if he can go. A reminder, this is a 15-year-old child. This is the most Australian thing I've ever heard. And this woman isn't even Australian. She said, "Well, if you have the money, I can't stop you going." But yes, you can't. There is more.
It's called being a parent.
Yeah. Mom.
She's like, "Well, if you got the money, I can't stop you going. You can fly halfway around the world if you want. I can. How could I possibly stop you?" That's the most Australian thing I've ever heard. Is that
that's wild.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant, man. It's like, "Well, if you got the money, I can't stop you going." It's like, "I'm pretty sure you legally can, but okay,
Yeah.
I have my passport and shit." Okay, see ya. I'm off to England then. Yeah, cool. Nice one for saving up the money. I couldn't possibly stop you leaving. Yes,
That's the world we live in now, bro.
Old.
When we were kids, 15,
brilliant.
we looking to go shops. Can we go to the shops? Like, yeah, go on. Back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
20. Like, nowadays, I'm going to go to England from Australia, watch a football match. That didn't even happen.
Yeah. Well, if you've got the cash, there's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is wish you well and pack you a lunch. What more can a mother do? Absolutely brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant, I thought.
It's like, if I make a spaceship in the back garden, can I fly to Mars? Yeah.
If you can afford it.
If you got the fuel money, go, bro.
Yeah, you do it. I can't stop you.
What can I do about it? I can't stop you.
So funny.
Jeez. That's a mother's love right there.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Be free.
Yeah.
You got money in your wallet.
You got the money. You made the money. So, hey. Not much I can do.
I
Jeez.
love it.
You can't get much better than that. I did want to include one thing here too. Let me see if I can include this for you guys. So if you do remember this,
There's no sound.
is there no sound?
No, there's no sound. No, there's no sound.
Why is it always going to be?
I thought I thought you were showing us the Arsenal fans for the last 2 hours.
Yeah. I
Silent.
would.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Arsenal fans are just buffering right now.
Reloading. Yeah, let me see if it works this time. Hold on a second.
Just popping into chat to see if Mans are taking the piss out of them.
Right. Hopefully, does it work this time?
Listen. I'll say this.
Is it working?
Arsenal not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Just want to think about Man City, Liverpool.
What do you mean not going anywhere?
Man
What do you
City,
mean?
Liverpool, Chelsea's coming up. Man United's coming up. Who's dropping down? You.
Who?
It's not Arsenal. I'm telling you that.
I
don't
don't
know.
think it would be Arsenal. If you have
I think the team that's going to drop down is going to be Liverpool.
Liverpool, huh?
And I think
Yeah.
the reason why is Mo Salah potentially going to be
Because I hate them.
soon, and Trent is going to be potentially going to Real Madrid. The
Oh.
only person they might keep is going to be Virgil van Dijk.
I hear it.
Listen.
I hear it.
That's that Singh guy. Yeah. I know
I
this
hear
guy.
it. That was Cass saying he hears it, and that was Egal saying his prediction.
And he's not the only one who said that, because there's another guy, a Sikh guy, a big lad. He said the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Wait, is this one playing too? Hopefully this is playing. Can you hear this one?
No, not right now. No.
I don't know why when I go to the next clips they don't play. I have to like reload them. It's kind of like maybe it truly is on that setting. Let's see if this does it this time.
Oh, listen, we're back.
Is it playing now?
Yep.
Okay. Because y'all want to hear this.
Listen, we're back. We're well and truly back. Crisis is definitely over.
How is it?
I'm telling you, man, the hunted have become the hunters.
Oh, that's
The
how it
league's
is.
back. Liverpool, just watch out. You need a big January window to stop this. This is going to return. This is going to be one of the biggest Premier League wins we're going to see. Arteta's going to win it this season.
Wow.
You can see it with the Odegaard return. As long as he can stay fit, he's going to win us the league. He's going to captain us to the first Premier League title.
Odegaard FC. Is it Odegaard FC all of
Whether
a
they're
sudden?
Champions League
Didn't know
finals,
that.
that'd be
No,
amazing.
there's Arsenal
Whether we
FC.
can go into the summer with both those honours, let's see. But at the moment, we're playing absolutely scintillating football to the point where I actually don't think any team can beat us. As long as this 11 can stay fit, as long as this squad can stay fit, I don't think any team in the world beats us.
None in the world? Wait. Really? None in the world? The world's a very big place. It's a very big place.
As long as this 11 can stay fit, as long as this squad can stay fit, I don't think any team in the world beats us. And this is why I keep saying Martin Odegaard is so instrumental. He has now become one of the best players in world football. People can argue it. People
I know
can
who this
debate.
is,
I don't really care. Because that's my opinion and it'll stay that opinion.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
We can't stop him.
I wish
If that's
our
the opinion.
politicians sounded like that. You know what I mean?
I know. Maybe
You know what I
maybe
mean? A bit
he's,
of passion in them. Yeah.
maybe he's Australian and he's like, I made the money. I'm gonna go out there and tell the world.
We can't stop it.
We can't stop
We
him.
can't stop
We'd like to.
Can't stop him. We just can't stop.
Oh, damn. Oh,
You know, it's like
That's
back in
comedy
the day.
out
It's like,
of this.
did your mum let you leave the house dressed like that?
I know.
Did no one check your head before you left the front door?
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
so when you got to just so we know, if you go on any podcast today, what are you planning on saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might need to sit down.
Yeah. He might need
I mean,
one.
this Egal guy, I've never heard of him before, like 2 days ago. And before I got home late, and just before I joined the stream, I saw Rev was in here. Rev's gone now. I don't know, must have annoyed him or something I said, but he was in here giving out about Egal. This guy seems to have gotten under a lot of people's skin, so he's probably doing what he wants to do.
Absolutely. It's because Egal's, what I've seen from Egal, this guy Gunnar Souls, Gunnar Lee, Liverpool Lee, Chelsea Lee, Tottenham Lee, I don't know, whatever Lee he is, okay? They all it's probably date night for Lee right now, because whenever they lose, all of a sudden you can't catch him on the phone. That's something that Kopish does all the time. It's funny when you get to watch him do that. But it's a case where they speak to you as if they've already won the accomplishments.
Exactly.
That's where it's so insulting, like as in being lectured by these gooners about their team as if they've done something.
I imagine they did. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's really why a lot of people root against them, tell you the truth.
Of course, bro. Because in the last, like in England, generally Arsenal not a club that other fans hated. It was always Man United. It wasn't Arsenal. Even Brian can say that. None of us Liverpool fans really disliked Arsenal. But since the internet's sort of been created, that they're near the top of replacing Man United as the most hated club in England. In that way, where their fans are over the top. They're a bit too much. And that's what's changed now. The internet's made Arsenal into a bit of a laughing stock. Their fans have done that. I thought they loved their club. When you love someone, you don't really embarrass them online, do you?
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not. So that's why, for me, I don't take none of these guys seriously who say they support Arsenal through thick and thin. No, you don't. You do it for the camera, bro.
Yeah, it's silly. It's just silliness. And that's why, like, it gets to the point where you just, like, you scratch your head and you're like, oh, my goodness, I'm still waiting to hear hear from Vader Games. That's the Vader guy who's a City fan. Still would love to hear and see what he's got to say, or if he'll be a part of this conversation with me at one point, or us at one point. Because he's often out front, he's holding up the six fingers himself, reminding us how many European championships or how many Champions League cups we have. And then you have I think that with Egal, or even with the Gunnar Souls guy, or even with like a lot of the guys, again, Troops, Lee, all these Gunnar, even Robbie. Even Robbie of AFTV, you listen and you know what it takes to get people to click on your show, or you know what it takes to get people to start talking about you in the socials. But it's sometimes you sit there and you listen to these people talk, and I'm like, Liverpool were done. You saw how the game was against Newcastle. It shows the merit of what they are. They can be gotten at. And I'm like, but we drew, but you lost the game against Newcastle. How is that even equal statings? It's like, it's just weird. Like you hear like about Forest and everything. I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, Forest is a good team that has surprised a lot of different teams this year, but yet like people still, have them in this like typecast, and I'm just like, man, it's one thing when you speak about us as being whatever, we're going to be this or we're going to be that, and then if we speak about injuries, you can't talk about injuries. Okay, we can't talk about injuries, so then like it gets to the point of like, well, how come every time we get into this conversation the goalposts move as if they're on a conveyor belt, but yet when we're talking about your team, that's a different story. That's a completely different story.
Well, there's one thing I'd like to ask people, and I know it's not it's not a very nice question.
Mhm.
But JK will probably be the one person here to be able to answer in the chat or on the panel. And it's, it doesn't get talked about because we live in a different kind of culture. We live in a different, so, the kind of whole be kind generation, a lot of this kind of stuff. But so things don't get speaking about. But up until very recently, and I think most recently, I think Liverpool are still the most hated club in England. And
Yeah.
Liverpool fans don't really, especially younger ones, don't realize that. They know that people don't like that. They know, but they don't realize that we're actually hated by people.
Yep.
Not disliked, not feared, not worried about. They actually hate us.
Yep.
And Manchester United have come close to that as well. I mean, if you don't hate Liverpool, then you hate United. But I think for the last 20, 30, 40 years, we were the bogeyman. We were Hillsborough. We were Heysel.
Mm-hmm.
We were the reason that English clubs got kicked out of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
We were those manky, dirty, rotten Scousers from the north that came to Wembley every year and won things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they didn't like it, and they didn't like how popular we were.
Mm-hmm.
But the hatred for England, in England, I think it's residually bleeds into these people that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it about us? Why is it when it's us, it's this? Why is it when it's us, it's that? It's because of their dads. Most of these guys talking, they couldn't even they couldn't find Heysel on a map. They wouldn't be able to tell you about the Bradford fire. They wouldn't be able to tell you. But all they know is that their dads absolutely effing despise us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Jake, I know you split your time a lot. We're very popular in Germany. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And Germany is a very different culture, but you spend a lot of time in the Midlands in England, which has a very strong support of its own for big clubs, Birmingham, Villa, Leicester, So would you say that kind of taking away the whole internet sheen and what we do about it, just that feeling you get, are we still that hated in England? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I believe so because of our history mainly, and also the political side of it as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a big fan of East Midlands teams, Forest, Leicester, Derby. They're all sort of Tory-based sort of fans, anti-Liverpool, and you can see it in their chants. Like which other club gets chants like that, like the way we do?
Mm-hmm.
So that just shows me it's not really died down. Also, when you're top dog. As Robert says, we're the original top dogs. When you are the top dog, everyone wants to bite your ass. And that's the way it's been on and off the field with Liverpool. Liverpool was a really rich sort of city back in the days. A lot of business came through there with the docks and stuff. But people wanted London to be that. And so it sort of transferred from that world. How many clubs are there in London? Loads. They all hate Liverpool. And even Man United and Man City, for example. Because we're all in the same sort of vicinity and stuff. But for me, that Liverpool hatred is really in England, not really in Europe. Look at the AC Milan supporters, and a lot of teams respect Liverpool when they come over to play there, and vice versa. Like, oh, we're at Anfield. What a moment! Like when Real Madrid played us the other week. They were thinking you never walk alone. Some of their fans.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of it. There you go.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Like when Barcelona got beat by us.
And they're the most entitled. They are the most entitled, posh, stuck-up fans in the world. Is Madrid fans.
Yeah. And they were singing "You Never Walk Alone."
And they were singing it. Yeah.
So no other British club can get that, bro. That respect and that love and that looking up to. Oh, we're going Anfield. It's like a big thing. You don't get that. Oh, we're going to Arsenal Stadium. See, I don't even know what the name. Highbury. Let's call it Highbury. Yeah, but like they don't. It don't happen there. They're not going to sing with the Arsenal fans the same song.
Yeah.
Barcelona fans stayed after the final whistle to applaud us after we beat them in that 4-0 game, bro. And that only happens because that shows me it's more of an England thing. It's not really a world thing of that hate. It's more of an England thing, and that's politically done through the TV and stuff. Yeah.
the follow-up question I'd say then, and it's why I've been pointing it out to in the chat that I'm a part of when I do catch their shows live on the Football Terrace. But the follow-up question I would have is like, it's very interesting because there was a time in English football when, especially when we weren't doing as well as we would have where we would normally do in the 80s and the 70s and such. In the early 2000s, especially when Arsenal really established somewhat of a rivalry, albeit Wenger and Fergie was that kind of rivalry between the two coaches, especially. And it's interesting because I see, Terry on the Football Terrace, and he speaks about Arsenal sometimes in such like glowing and like loving terms, and I question it, like, as in, when it comes to Liverpool, and he tries to be very objective when it comes to all teams. I'll give him credit for that, and I'm not trying to put disparaging comments on his name at all. But it's just interesting because some of these content creators that are, especially Red Devil content creators, they speak about Gooners such friendly terms. It's very interesting. It's just weird. But if you speak about Liverpool, it's back to the hate. It's back to the, it's back to that rivalry style angst against us. But yet, like, it's very unique because City's somewhat similar, that the rivalry has grown between us because we're the only team that really competes with them when it comes to standing in their way of getting silverware. But it's just interesting to me because, like, you see these, like, I don't know how and why they do speak of them in such glowing terms, but yet when it comes to speaking about Liverpool, it's all like, all bets are off the table, like, as in they hold nothing back. But yet when it comes to these other clubs and the other teams, we might not like Arsenal, but they're gonna do like 7 different pieces in a week about like how great Arsenal is, and I'm just like,
I think Robert hit the nail on the head there. They don't see Arsenal as a threat.
Yeah,
you'd always compliment somebody if you don't see them as a threat, but they see us as a threat. They know, like, they've always known, like, Manchester United fans from that era, their biggest fear, and a couple of them have said this to me before, their biggest fear was because they used to try and gaslight us and like that, where I said before, they used to tell us, like, you should give up, you're done now, we're a million miles ahead of you money-wise, commercially wise, or that you should just forget trying to be like a big club, because they were so afraid, because they knew that if we did come back, we'd be huge. They knew that Liverpool were only in the doldrums, and they know how big we are globally. They know that we're bigger than all these new, we're bigger than PSG, we're bigger than Man City, we're bigger than all these nouveau riche clubs. The only team that, if it came down to a head-to-head global battle between who is the biggest in the world that can compete with Man United in England, is Liverpool. And they were always terrified of that. They knew that if we got our shit together and came back, we would be big. They knew we were just dropping the ball. And commercially, they got into the new era light years ahead of us. They were way ahead of us commercially. Everybody used to slag them off for having tractor partnerships and noodle partnerships and all of that. And then we were complaining about them being able to buy more expensive players and pay bigger wages. Well, guess what? 2 and 2 makes, 4 on that one. And then but they knew that once we got our shit together and got as big as we could be, we could match them. And we were the only club, and they knew that. That's why they fear us. It's like they don't fear Chelsea. They don't fear us.
I don't think that they're willing to admit that. And that's why it's a lot of what you hear.
Oh, of course, no, they'll never admit it.
Exactly.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah,
never
that's why it seems like projection more than actual.
It's subconscious. It's purely subconscious. That's why they're afraid. They're afraid because they know if we do come back, we're the real deal. City aren't the real deal. PSG aren't the real deal. All these multi-club ownerships, they're not the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
We're the Beatles. We're the Rolling Stones. We have heritage. We have the greatest hits back catalogue. We have the whole lot. You know, there's no one out there to compete with us and them when it comes to titles in England.
Yeah.
That's why they're afraid of us, and they wanted to tell us, you should give up, because if you try, there's no point, because they knew if we got our shit together, we could do what they do.
There's an interesting...
We're as big as they are, if not bigger.
Mm-hmm. There was an interesting piece on... There was a very interesting, intriguing piece, I would say, even. It had Lawrence McKenna in it. It had Grizz in it. Who else was in it, too? It had Doyle and... oh, my goodness. All apologies. He's actually the main guy for Cop TV. I believe JK even met them, too, I believe. And then who else was in there too? It's like 4 of them. It's like a 5th person. Anyway, there was a piece that they did where they had, pretty large content creators, and they would actually, you'd have to decide on what A or B choice, like as in, and there was an Arsenal one, and it was like Turkish. It was the older bald guy. He's on AFTV. It had the girl that's on AFTV from them on the show, and there was a question that was asked. Arteta. It was they did ask the Arteta question, but it was like, what do you care? What's more? Which do you prefer, Arteta as a player or Arteta as a coach? But the question I was going to bring up is they asked, would you take, if you could do it all over, would you take Wenger or would you take Fergie if you had the opportunity to take either coach? And it was interesting because it was split. Like, as in, there was those that did go with Wenger, but there was those that actually, or the older gentleman from Arsenal, he chose Fergie because he's all about winning, he's everything else, and he respected everything that he did, and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, it was just interesting that, like, if given the choice, because I think I mentioned the one about the Liverpool one, and I want to say that they had to choose between Klopp or Pep, I believe, was their choice. I think that was their choice, but I'm not positive. I have to rewatch it to tell you the truth. But if I was given that choice, would you want to have, if it was day one, Rodgers just got sacked, and let's just hypothetically say Pep is out of a job, and so is Klopp, who would you want to take as your coach? I still today am saying Klopp. And there's like I don't know. It's totally wild, but I mean, like, that's just a situation. I personally would just choose Klopp for what he did for the franchise. I thought that there's so much more than just the on the pitch brilliance that he brought. He brought a definite air and just connection to the fans that I don't think you would have technically gotten from Pep, possibly in the same intensity that you did from Klopp personally. But it's an interesting question. If I ask you that question to the panel, and tell me in the chat too, real quick, if it was day one, Brendan Rodgers just got sacked. Okay, the board reaches out to you and says, we have 2 candidates on the table. Which do you decide? Which your decision is going to be the decision that makes the choice? Who are you going with?
Well, we've sacked the Irishman, have we?
The North Irishman, I thought, right? Isn't he from Northern Ireland?
We've sacked the Irishman, eh?
Yeah.
That bloody Irishman. Bloody Irishman.
There you go.
That's my best Frank. That's my best Frank impersonation.
There you go. Yeah, especially since you're still calling them Irish, not Northern Irish, but I got you. Shout out to Frank, by the way. Big love. JK. Who are you going with?
Mm-hmm.
And in the chat, please tell me. We have a bunch of heads still with us in the chat. You can't avoid this question. You can't avoid it. Who are you taking? Brendan's just been sacked. You get the ring on the horn, and on the horn they're like, we gotta make this choice, but it's up to you. Dara, Kevin, Robert, Bonkers, Bernie, JK, and Irishman. Who are you choosing? Red Armchair Supporter. Who are you choosing? What do you say?
Well, I would take Klopp, no problem. And the reason why that guy you were on about, why a lot of content creators sort of don't say anything about Arsenal, is because there are a lot of people who come on the internet and watch football shows are Arsenal fans, and I want to keep it sweet for them. But for me, I'm taking Klopp every day.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Bonkers will take slot. I got you. Actually, you know what? I think that was the question. It wasn't Pep or Klopp. They were given Klopp or Slot. They were made to choose between the two of them. And I was like, wow. Of course, you back the current coach, of course, surely, but that was kind of dirty to do. It was between Klopp and Slot. They had to choose like who would you take as your manager? And I was like, that's just disrespectful. Love Slot, love what he's doing, but none of this exists if Klopp hadn't done what
Whoever
he done.
Klopp, yeah, I'm taking Klopp.
He's playing with all. He's on a chessboard and he's got all of Klopp's chess pieces still on the board. So let me see. Who are you choosing? Yeah, everyone chose Slot. Yeah, they did. And it makes sense. I mean, you're going to choose the current manager now, but
I'm taking Klopp. No problem.
I'm showing proper respect and taking Klopp. Big up, Marion, by the way. Big up.
So
bless Marianne. Yeah.
The original one. So it's now.
I'm asking my original question. That's
okay.
my original question. I
Pep.
I do remember that it was Klopp on the show, on that TV show that I was talking, or not TV show, but on the YouTube episode. It was Klopp. Oh. The choice was Klopp or Slot. On the Arsenal version of it, it was Fergie or Wenger. But my version of it is Brendan's has been sacked. Pep and Klopp are on the board. Who do you take?
Oh yeah, okay. So if it's a Pep Klopp one, yeah, I think I wouldn't normally say this because I don't really like. Well, I suppose it's a love-hate thing. How emotional we are as a club and a fan base. I think a lot of the times we are overly emotional and overly sentimental and all that, and we all do it as Liverpool. As part of being a Liverpool fan, but it makes us who we are. It is part. So it's a kind of a love-hate thing. Mm-hmm. With that, sometimes it's held us back. It held us back in the commercial era when we were like, no, we're not going to sell our souls and be, have sponsors up the yin yang. When we didn't see that that's where the game was going, we thought we were a bit above that. That kind of held us back. But every now and again, I think it is right. And there was just something emotional about the connection between Klopp and Liverpool that we wouldn't have gotten with Guardiola. There was an instant connection and a rapport between Jurgen Klopp and our fans that I think someone just said, it was very easy comment, but they said, Slot, or crap, I need to stop doing that. Klopp gets Liverpool and Liverpool gets Klopp.
Yeah. And
it was just a marriage made in heaven from day one, personality wise. And we needed someone to bring us back to where we were. And he had that extra motivational part to his game and his personality. That Slot, not that he doesn't have it, but Klopp has it from day one. He arrives with that kind of messianic kind of feel to, I am the guy. and people bought into him straight away. So
Mhm.
as amazing a get or a capture or a hire as people like say as Guardiola would have been, I think Slot or Klopp and Liverpool was the perfect marriage right then. So because Ancelotti was the other guy that was on the cards at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
You know, and so that would be a similar kind of thing. And I think
some might even said that he was possibly even the top choice. Some might say.
Yeah, he would have come in and done a brilliant job. I have absolutely no doubt about it. But there would never have been this connection that Klopp created with the club, which was unique.
I think you would have gotten what you got from what you got in Everton from him is what you would have gotten. Maybe a little bit more so because of the better players that would have been associated with him, but you still wouldn't have gotten what you get with Klopp.
If you look at the time when
made for. Sorry, Jacob, go ahead. Of course.
No, I was just going to say, when you look at the time when Klopp came into Liverpool and where we were at, we were with Rodgers, the Northern Irish lad, and he did that season where we could have won the league under Rodgers, and that's about it. But Klopp came in and put us back on the map. Mm-hmm. We were the best team in the world for a while. Mm-hmm. Liverpool. That's what Klopp did, and I can't say anything else. You know, if the owners backed him a bit more, I think we were looking at 3 Champions Leagues, maybe 4 Premier League titles under Klopp. But other than that, Klopp put us back on the map. We're at top of the Premier League. We're on top of the European League as well. And that's Klopp's hard work, because Klopp numerous times has said the squad he got when he walked in is because of Klopp. That's a big thank you from him. You know, so for me, Klopp is the guy who did it. He re-established Liverpool Football Club.
Okay. Well said. Well said. I believe that completely too, by the way. A lot of people ask me, like, you know, who is my, especially when it comes to Premier League, and I did see Rafa coach, and I did get to see King Kenny coach a second time, not necessarily the first time, but the second time. But for me, Klopp gave me like a different type of hope. That, like, not only did you believe in him, it was kind of like, I don't know, like it was. I know people don't like the whole fatherly figure and the likes, but I mean, like, you know, you believe in your dad that can go, like, you know, you believe in what he can, what he says and what he can do. You know, you believe he can take on the world. You know, and you kind of believe that you definitely believe that in Klopp, and that anything was possible, basically, and you knew that he could get that out of this team. And you, especially if you put so much love and admiration into something like a club that we have, the fact that this person could do anything close to what we saw in like Istanbul, you know, like that made you really just believe, like when you got to see something on the lines of like the game against Barcelona. You know, at Anfield, like that's the fact that you're able to have those moments. It kind of just made you say, yeah. And the fact that he was just so, he's so connected, like, you know, with the fist palms,
DNA, the club DNA.
Yeah. Like Lallana hopping on his back, you know, like as there was a connection with the, you know, there's comments from when how like, Stevie G and Rafa, like as in they, you know, the love wasn't there, like where he
they didn't know he's cold.
Yeah, cold. Very cold.
Rafa's weird. Rafa is a weird one because Rafa created a bond with the fans.
Yeah, certainly.
And if you ask the players, they were like, Rafa, he's one of the best managers I've ever worked with, but his thing was being super cold. Totally, and it's like it just shows you that like it can be, but I think what the point here, they both got the club DNA. Both of them realized, like, Klopp bought into the DNA immediately. So he was like, yeah, we are the kind of club that gets these Barcelona comebacks. But he's also the kind of manager that inspires it. So I think we'll be waiting. Slot is amazing, right? But I think we'll be waiting. I think he was our Ferguson just in terms of in the Premier League in terms of how the fans looked at him, as it just said, like kind of walk on water kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. So like JK said, for 2 years, JK was saying for a while, I think probably for 2 years, we were the best team in the world. Without a doubt, we were the best team in the world for 2 years. If coronavirus hadn't happened, who knows what we might have done? Who knows what we might have done?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, of all the guys that could have come in, Ancelotti, Pep could have come in. Nobody would have just had that kind of. That's the guy for the role. That kind of energy, like.
Yeah.
Brendan tried to be that person because Brendan knew what Liverpool needed. They knew that we bought into that kind of charismatic leader kind of guy.
Yeah.
But Brendan didn't have the chops to do it. He tried to do it, but he couldn't pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something. Says, let me see some of these comments from the chat. Something
Well,
else.
Bonkers asked a good one. Bonkers asked a good one back there. It's a bit messy, but back up there.
Back one. Yeah, you can click it in. Which one are you talking about?
Where's it gone? Well, basically, no. He just said, "Who do you choose, Peak Mo or Peak Gerrard?"
That was a question in the in that show. That's why he's asking that.
Okay.
In that one with the Liverpool version of it, that was a question, and the majority of the people, I think, went with Peak Gerrard because of his versatility. I mean, there's so many different positions on the pitch that you could put Stevie at, and I think that's just another way of trying to get fans divided on who is the greatest Premier League player for Liverpool.
Oh, well, if it was an Arsenal fan asking that shit, yeah, fuck them. But if Bonkers was asking it, I'd give you a genuine answer. But if it's some Arsenal fan trying to create so you're saying Salah is better than Gerrard kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Story. Yeah. That's what Terry does too. He does that sometimes as well.
Well, I'll give a genuine answer and say heart says Gerrard, head says Salah, because peak Salah to me is 40 goal a season Salah. And as good as Gerrard was and inspirational as he was, 40 goals a season, that's kind of hard to turn down. But yeah, peak Gerrard. I mean, it's hard to
I think they made the point of saying that Mo did it also with Mo's done this with excellent players around him. Stevie did it with like taking a team on his back and doing what he did.
Yeah, but what they're doing there, 12 man, is knowing that every Liverpool's fans' favorite player is supposed to be Steven Gerrard.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be every Liverpool fan that's supposed to be there. So if you say, blank or Gerrard, you're supposed to say Gerrard, or else it's like, so you're one of those non-Gerrard people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'll take both, please. I'll take a peak Mo and a peak Gerrard. They came pretty close, really, didn't they? We didn't, we come pretty close to having them in the same era. I think Gerrard will look back wistfully on a lot of the improvements that have happened since he left. He's probably thinking, if I'd just been 10 years younger, or if this has happened 10 years previously.
Oh, that would have been so great.
Bro, Gerrard, like you can look at it like this. Would we have been more successful with Klopp, with Gerrard in his team, or with Salah in his team? I think if we had Gerrard instead of Salah in that time, I think we might have won a few more Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. Even though Salah is, for me, the bad man, like he's the best, But I just feel we would have won more if Gerrard was in that Klopp team.
Yeah, agreed.
Very, very Klopp player. I mean, Hendo was basically a kind of a
Klopp.
A new generation Gerrard. He played the same role,
Oh, wow.
No, I mean, he played the same role.
Yeah.
Same, but he was, you could imagine.
I'm telling you the truth. I think if we had Henderson last season in that team where we needed a little bit of fire and a little bit of...
has been out of his skin this season. Yes, granted, he's made a few mistakes, but as a goalkeeper, he's one of the...
Sorry about that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Bro, is that guy who's speaking there the guy with the turban?
No. This is I'll say who this is. I did not mean to play.
No,
that.
it's not K-Mac. It's not K-Mac.
That was good. Yeah, that's good. It's not K-Mac. It is not K-Mac. Here, let me see if I can show you this. This is Gunnar Souls. That's who this is.
Who?
Gunnar Souls. He's on.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, he's a new kid on the block, I think.
yeah.
So many new kids.
Will they all sound the same?
Yeah.
Yeah,
New fish.
can't keep up. Oh,
Yeah, I was just saying, last
Don't
season,
want to.
quickly, I think we
Yeah.
had Hendo around that January
Don't
time.
fucking want to.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sorry,
Yeah, I was just
JK, you're
saying
gonna
that.
say.
Yeah, I was saying that last season when we needed a bit of oomph on the
Mhm.
field, I think sometimes we went a bit quiet in the midfield. I think Hendo in that team last season, we might have been more successful. I think sometimes we need that player in the park who's a bit rowdy. And Henderson, is that what you brought to the team? And I think Gerrard did the same.
I think you're right. You know what? Some can make an argument that if he was in that game against Newcastle, maybe we would have won. Maybe. You need someone out there that'll take those tactical fouls, get angry,
Shout a little bit. Who does it really now? Virgil, maybe. Yeah.
Pointy
Little
shouty.
moment.
Pointy shouty.
Bravo.
Mouthy, yep.
Yeah, as Kevin says, that's the oracle. This is let me play this real quick. Let me see if I can get it one more time before we bounce out of here. We're at the bottom half of the hour. And let's see if this works. This was the oracle speaking, by the way.
We've got the best defensive and when it comes to our team, we've got the best defensive partnership in world football at the moment. Raya has been out of his skin this season. Yes, granted, he's made a few mistakes, but as a goalkeeper, he's one of the best keepers in the world. We're well and truly back. Crisis is well and truly gone. I don't know where. As soon as Martin Odegaard returned, that's when I knew this is it. We're going to cut. That's why I've not panicked, because we knew Odegaard wasn't going to have a rugby situation when he's out for the season. As long as he stays fit, he's going to captain and he's going to make sure that we're back in this. Yeah. West Ham are going to get the cooking of their life. They've not been in form. That 6-0 from last season is going to look like a dwarf of a performance to what we're going to do to them.
Yeah, you guys definitely beat West Ham. West Ham was very West Hamish, I guess. I don't know what you call that. Their coach, I don't know. I don't even understand how their coach has a job still, to be honest with you. That is absolutely incredible that he does.
And if he's the oracle, I'm Agent Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like
oracle,
this.
Lord of
Not
mercy.
Yeah, he is far from oracle. Far from oracle.
That's the oracle.
I mean, it would be a case where, you would certainly think that we would have had a possible chance. We would possibly have a chance. But then again, like I said, there are fans like this that are quick to throw
don't bring that
players
face up
under
on content warning. I mean, if you have kids, send them to bed, all the rest. Oh my God, what a fucking face. Jesus. Oh,
Crostin Kelleher with the shittest mistake of his fucking career. Instead of him just collecting the ball, he lets it go into Fabian Schär and Newcastle have just fucking equalized.
Yeah, fly a plane over that.
I mean, you gotta give it to us. Yeah, give it to us. We can even laugh at our own sometimes.
All that fucking hard work undone. All that hard work undone because of a Kelleher fucking mistake.
And nobody even paid him to say that.
This part, wait.
Bring me Allison. Bring me Allison ASAP. Bring me Allison ASAP, bro.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Like I told him.
And that is
Embarrassing.
for some of those out there, that's your guy. Like I said,
Yep. Oh,
I'm not scared of no Don Hussam. I don't even want to call him Don Hussam.
Yeah, who calls himself Don?
Dom Dummy. It's more like Dom Dummy.
Yeah.
It's like calling yourself like, you know, sorry, who am I? Oh, I'm the legend Brian. Yeah. I'm the big man. That's me. It's like,
I'm Liverpool FC.
You giving yourself that title, or is that a kind of a thing you wouldn't say? No, I just decided to call myself the Don. Oh, okay, that's all right. Oh, cringe.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, well,
yeah.
Don backwards is nod.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely some wolves in sheep clothing.
But bro, when you look at
yeah, go ahead.
Like when you look at Kelleher, what he's done for us this season alone, for me, fair play to the lad. He's our number 2, and he's played that well. Like for me, he's gonna make a mistake. He ain't made no mistakes bar that mistake.
Yeah,
it happens.
It happens.
For me, Trent should have been there covering.
It happens, but there's no way I was gonna be like on some like, you know, bring me Ali, Bon Kelleher. Like, that's just silly talk, man.
Exactly. Oh, please. Yeah, was he saying that a game ago? No, he wasn't. He was like, probably. I don't want to get language like wrong. I don't want to say that, but he's kissing ass, so to speak. Yeah, he's kissing ass, so to speak. Same with Monts and some of their reactions. But again, they're the big people, 25, 30 scraptions. I just don't know what's wrong with this generation and what the minds go to with these people. I'm not saying we have to be, but you know, but it's weird. It's weird. Like I said,
how about this?
That's a cool. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, but what this guy says in Atlante, look.
Oh yeah, 100% Kevin. Yeah, 100%.
Zero analysis.
Yeah,
it's all noise.
I don't think he's ever played football or soccer, or whatever you call it.
It's just noise and abuse and you know controversy and. But if you actually ask the guy, say, oh, so I don't. Could you break down that goal and you know what could we have done better? What could we have done better? Fucking sell Kelleher. So I don't know. I can't even.
But that's you know what. Maybe we should invest in Kitty. Yeah. Maybe
bring me Allison. Bring me. I can't.
I think what Dom.
It's going Russian. It's going Russian, man.
Yeah,
I'll be able to do it tomorrow. Listen, I'm gonna do it.
Do it tomorrow. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think what he needs to bring back. We just need to buy him a bunch of balls.
Yeah, get him a bag of balls. Yeah, exactly.
And then he can yes. Japanese, they're very fun.
Oh. I love the way they blur his.
I like how they
blur his man boobs.
Yeah,
nobody
gets some chopsticks.
Nobody needs to see that. They're like, no, and no. We can show. We're not showing man. Nobody needs to see them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's cover that. X-rated. You know, kids are watching. Come on, gotta be better. You gotta be better, my friends. Kids are watching. They're gonna see that's the example. Throw some orange balls and pools, but and yeah, take off your top and
them bags already. Them bags already. They knew that was gonna happen. They were gonna fucking do that. They're already anticipating the defeat.
I'm sure they get good views. Yeah.
I'd love to know what that says there on that.
Oh man.
Wonder what that says there. If anyone knows in the chat, let us
know. Yeah.
I support Liverpool.
You know what? I have a friend that I'll ask.
Like when I saw it being ripped open, I thought it was like they had like some kind of Timu fucking cheese puffs or something. You know, I thought like this was his snack for the day. That's just how they ate them over the massa. But then they started bouncing around. I was like, no. For some reason, he's got a bag of fucking yellow, orange. What would you call them? Ping pong balls.
Ping pong.
Yeah, I mean, what was he planning on doing? I know what they. Oh, actually, now I know what they do with ping pong balls.
I think those are the ones that you like. Don't want to ask. No, they're not. They're not ping pong. I don't think those are ping pong balls. I think they're like the ones that when
I've seen South Park.
Like little kids, they go to the amusement parks. Okay. But you know, when you go to like, it's like a, what is it called? Because there's like Legoland, there's like all these like, you know, youth like kind of style amusement parks that like kids go to, and there you can dive into the pits.
Oh, ball pits. Yeah, they're the ball pit. Okay, yeah, those.
Yeah,
are cool.
I think that's what kind
Oh
of,
yeah.
that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
The sad thing about it is, his friends didn't even react to it.
Like,
Like,
I've got my shirt on.
I'd have been like, I know you have this bag here, but do you really have to do that? Like, what are you doing?
They were like, we're not taking our shirts off.
I am not taking my shirts off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I definitely want to know what it says as well. Like what that says. What the whole fucking thing was like.
Tune in tomorrow. We'll find out for you guys. Yeah, tomorrow.
Like and subscribe.
I'll find out.
We'll
probably
find out.
said like
So
and
tune in
subscribe.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Because I was talking to one of my friends that's a Spurs fan, and they're Korean, and they will be able to tell us what that says.
I think Son was non-existent in that second half. Yeah, he scored the goal, but
I was gonna say,
really involved.
I know.
Yeah, but like other than that,
You're on a
he
roll
wasn't-
today.
I know.
Hammer did nothing. Well, 2 penalties and an assist. Son was well, you know the old goal. You're on a roll today.
No, but when you look at the
I didn't
game,
do anything at all.
The game overall, I can understand what you're saying.
like just like I don't know, Son wasn't really involved. Like he wasn't really
Oh,
doing
I heard
anything.
that too. I did hear. I heard he was.
Yeah, apart from the goal, yeah. Apart from the
You know?
scoring at the last minute, yeah. Spurs or Spurs, that's it. Unfortunately,
But when I
2-0
say but when I say Salah got a goal and assist, he didn't do nothing else the whole game. I'll say the same. But for me, that's a match winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Salah's levels to Son. Son's a good player, but I've never understand the comparisons, if I'm honest.
33 in
Son-
July.
I
This shit about him going to Real Madrid, yo.
Back
He's
in the
only
days.
33 in July. He's not going to Real Madrid.
Yeah, 2
going
years
on.
ago, yeah, he should have gone. He should have left for Tottenham. That's my
Would
opinion. He stayed there too
would
long.
you have Son, if Son doesn't work out a contract with his Spurs?
Mhm.
Would you
have him?
Say,
No.
How old would he be again? Sorry?
Because there was
33.
a point in time when we were linked with him.
We
linked.
were a while back, yeah.
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 He says, you know,
he'll be
while I was heading
33
my
in
heart,
July.
Spurs turned their back on me. So, hey, I just want to win. You know, I don't want to do what you know, Harry Kane did and go to a different league.
Not win nothing.
Yeah, go to a different league and
I'll take it for free. No problem.
Yeah, exactly. You get Son on
Not
free.
at 33. Not at 33.
No, his time's gone.
Oh,
How
wow.
old's Chiesa?
Time's gone. No,
Wow.
time's gone, mate. I don't want
Yeah,
too many
Like
players
my
signed
friend
in
is
the old.
listening. Do not listen to these other two people here.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, he was-
12 friends.
JK, I think JK is on my side of it right now.
even
No,
up
I think
until
he's a good
couple of years
player.
ago, he was awesome. Does
He was
do
great.
Liverpool give him a contract at 33? No,
I
No,
don't think so. Yeah.
No, and I didn't.
Your contract would be that bad, and if he knows his
no. But do you see FSG giving a 33? We're
I wouldn't want it anyway.
give him a contract? No, I don't. But I asked you the question. You're not FSG.
Oh, but no. Even then, I wouldn't. No, I just think
Right.
I'm
3 saying
4 years ago.
nothing to do with FSG. I'm saying
Yeah, if we had 2 good years left in him, or 2 or 3 years of say, if we got him when he's like 28, kind of 29, kind of thing. I just think he's just gone.
You're the slide.
That's a
Yeah.
shame.
That's on
He's
the other
still
side.
putting
What a
up
player!
numbers. Still putting
Top
up
player.
numbers. He's still
Oh, a couple of years ago, I would. If we
Couple of
hadn't
years ago,
had
yeah.
Mo and Mane,
That's the
I
only
think
way,
he was
yeah.
the next guy on the list, because there was
Yeah.
always talk about one of them leaving,
Next,
and I was like, if one of if Mane left or if Mo left, what would you do? I'd be like, well, if we could do it, I'd go straight and get Son, especially if Mane left. You know, if that was one of those things, but.
I think Son slots right in as a character, a character player for us that would understand his role same way that like Bobby did towards the end of his career with us. Would understand his role, would not make waves, would get given the opportunities, same way that Endo speaks on himself, you know, given the opportunities would make the most of it. I mean, albeit Endo is only like a year or two younger than Son, but you know, I would certainly say that Son is definitely a better player than Endo in the levels of it. And I just think that if you had a player like Son, he could be a player that, who knows, wins you something that's unexpected.
Who would you get rid of then to make way for him?
To make way for him, I probably let Endo go to make way for him.
No, to play on the left wing. He's a left winger. He's not a center.
I thought you meant in the overall team.
Well, no, I mean, he's got to play somewhere. So
yeah, he's got to play somewhere. But I mean, also he's got to have a spot on the team. So that's what I would say.
I don't think he does. Yeah, I think Klopp would have bought him with his heart. I think Klopp would have bought him every single season because he was at Spurs. It was like, come on, man. Don't sign a new deal there. You're not going to win anything there. You could, like, when he was 27, 28 and he was sharing the golden boot. It's not even that long ago. He was sharing the golden boot with Mo and someone.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Money.
He could have gone to any club in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gone to Bayern, Real. Well, not any, but any club that wanted.
Yeah.
But I think Klopp would have bought him in a heartbeat. He looked to me like one of the most perfect Jurgen Klopp players of all time. Especially the way we played football. That guy scores 20 goals for us.
Yeah.
In that classic Robbo on the left, Trent on the right, counter-attacking team, he would have destroyed the league. But we didn't need him because we have Mane. But
Salah, yeah.
I think he definitely should have made a move at some, like his loyalty to Spurs is amazing.
Yeah, I think that.
That's what Kevin said, yeah. Kevin says the same.
Yeah, exactly. I'm quoting Kev. Yeah, his loyalty is amazing. Surprising. He says surprising. But he definitely could have titles somewhere if he'd wanted to go. But yeah, like 12 man was saying, those kind of guys, you can't really have too many of them. They don't cause problems. They're good lads. Great attitude all the time. Always have a smile on their face. All of that. And, you know, they're happy. They're just happy to kind of be where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think him and Harry Kane, I think especially those two players, they deserve more. Harry Kane, I don't think well, look, that's up to him. He signed that stupid, what was like a 6-year deal with them. Mm-hmm. But I always find it weird that Son didn't get picked up by a Real Madrid or someone like that. Just someone like that. They can come and take him. But maybe he likes living in London.
He's a player that
like Korean restaurants in London. Maybe, who knows?
He's an incredible player, and humble, extremely humble.
12th is definitely trying to get a date with this Korean girl. That's all. He's definitely trying to get a date with this Korean girl.
I love Son. I love Son. That's why I like hanging.
Okay.
Okay.
Check it out. Korean racks on racks. Yeah, here we go. Speak to your friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on.
I like hanging Lee. You know that as well. I rate Asian players. I do rate Asian players. I think they're often overlooked and vastly under.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
And that's what I was just about to bring up was that, like, look, Chiesa is battling back. I'm hoping the best and wishing the best because he is the one that's wearing a red kit. So I'm hoping that he gets to the fitness that we need and he can play on that and play for us. But Son plays on the left, or does primarily play on the left, but he can play striker. He can play shadow striker. He could also play right side as well. He can play all 4 positions. And that's why I was saying Son would be a pretty incredible choice because having that kind of versatility, whether it's 33, year old, he's 32 now.
33 next summer.
Right, but 33 in the next summer, right? A 33-year-old Son that could be a player that is a bit spot player that could come in and play backup Salah or maybe even play as a 10. I'll I'm down for that. I think that'd be pretty incredible. But then again, I've said that I would take KDB too at this age, still with all of his things. It's not a matter of I'm saying I would take him as a starter. I never said I would take him as a starter at this moment, but I would take him as a player that could play as an influential super sub, or to have that kind of versatility on the bench would be incredible. And I'm not looking for him to give us, day in, day out type performances. I'm looking for him to be there when we need him the most, and that's what I would see it as. So, yeah, he had a narrative. I had a narrative to put. That's what I did. You're right, Kevin. My narrative was that I do like players. That's Kang In Lee is supposed to be the next son. That's why I've been really high on his talent. Actually, he's out with he's the player that plays out for PSG, and I think he's not really getting properly utilized out there. He's playing, but I just don't know if PSG was the right move for him. Just as much as I don't know.
Great Asian players.
Yeah,
I don't like players because they're Asian or because they're European or because they're South American. I just like players that are good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really don't give a shit. If it's not like championing players from, it's almost the whole thing. If this guy is good enough, if he's from fucking Kazakhstan, get him in the door.
Right. But there's the same thing, and I know you both can speak on it, JK and Alante. If there are English players out there that are pretty phenomenal players, but if they had let's say a Brazilian last name, they would be, next level. But because they're from England, they're overlooked a little bit. There's sometimes your nationality can somewhat be unfortunately or improperly connected to the expectations that are placed upon you, and I think that's wrong, unfortunate, because I think that there are some really super talented players in obviously the Asian market. There's been a lot more interest. I think, there's a lot more interest that's been paid attention to Morocco, Egypt, as in, the North African players, especially, with the sure dominance of your Salahs and the likes, as in it's just, it's something that sometimes it's questionable that players don't get the admiration they should. That's how I look at it. That's why
for me, 12, I actually agree with you on that, because football has always been undercover racist.
Mhm.
Which country are you from? Straight away. If you tell them you're from Spain, maybe Germany, they'll be like, yeah, you can come in. If you tell them, if you're from, if you say you're from, I don't know, Kazakhstan or America even, they'll be like, nah, it's just even India, there's no Indian footballers. I've always said this. There's no Punjabi football players at all. There's one or two in Birmingham City. They ended up in Hearts. There was even one for Liverpool a while back. But
you're talking about a nation that has over 1 billion people. You don't think that there's a couple of players out there that probably are
can do a job.
That could do a job? Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's, for me, it's actually disrespectful towards the Indian people that they don't have no players. Slowly we're getting Turkish players coming in, Iranian, just a few players coming in from the Middle East and stuff, But for me, as Brian even said, if you're good enough, it don't matter where you're from. And that's true about football. That's why we all love football, because it's for everyone, No one, football don't belong to no one exactly. It belongs to everyone. And that's why we love football.
But there's a lot of things, and Alante brought up something that I was going to talk about this. There's a couple of points. We can go more in depth in tomorrow, but because we're coming up on the 3-hour mark, about 7 minutes away. 6 minutes away, so I want to end it here pretty soon. But look, Mohamed Salah, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2019, 2018, 6th place, 5th place, 7th place, 5th place, and 11th place, respectively, going in reverse order again, up. And there's no way that he shouldn't be higher, but he's not, and it's like unfortunate because for whatever reason, he's not given the true accolades that he deserves, and that's unfortunate. Simply because, like, sometimes biases get weighed into the conversation, unfortunately, or stereotypes sometimes.
100% of, and it's funny with Mo because it's not. I've been hearing this, not just from Troy Deeney. I think one other player, I can't remember who he is, Premier League football blower. And then there was like a well-known Man United fan. He's a podcaster. He's well known on the YouTube scene. He does United Stand. His name's Flex. Yeah, Flex. Yeah, flat out, Mr. Flex, aka crack a nut in his egghead. But anyway, they're doing the wingers thing, and usual who's the best greatest winger in the Premiership history, and it came down to typical Ronaldo or Salah, and he said the same thing with him. Deeney saying, "Oh, but personally, Salah's not great on the eye test. He doesn't move me as a player." And I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Mo. He has got some good dribbling ability. It's not like in his prime. It wasn't just basic, just run and in and out kind of thing. I mean, Watford, Man City, Spurs. I mean, there's games where he's done some world class dribbling. So I think people forget about his dribbling. It's weird, and again, it's just like your point 12, the underrated and disrespect.
Yeah, agreed.
Agree, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, look at the bangers Salah scored from outside the box. Like for me, I like looking at Salah when he plays because why? He's going to do something. That's all it is. When you know a player, he's going to do something. Not every time he might not come off, but he's good on the eye. Then, like for me, as soon as Salah gets the ball, like something happens. You're like, yo, what's happening here? Come on, man. That's the eye test right there. And a lot of fans, guys who I've met who love football, they big up, they proper, like, they respect Salah. They're like, what a player. Yeah. And a lot of fans, a lot of people who love football, they're like, Salah, what a guy, what a player, how fit he is and stuff, attitude, everything. The perfect professional for me, Salah. From where he came from, how he went to football training as a kid and stuff, how he ended up in Switzerland, went to London, how he messed him up on that. And now he came back to England and he proved the whole world what he was all about them days, So for me, respect to the guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one thing, Jake. When I was saying it about I was having a bit of a rant yesterday about or the other day, as usual. I was having a rant about something, but like people who don't like value the League Cup or value the FA Cup or value, like they look at these lower table teams and they laugh at their grounds. Like they'll see, oh, we're going to play this team in the FA Cup. We get drawn against them, and they've never heard of them before. And then they see like a picture of their stadium or their dressing rooms, and they're like, "Oh my god!" They blow their fucking. It's like, how can our players go to? You just mentioned there, Mo Salah got on a fucking bus from some tiny little village in the desert to travel 3 hours a day, having grown up playing on fucking basically patches of dirt with crappy boots, no footballs. You think they're looking at these grounds going, oh, I can't possibly play football at a ground like that. They don't see where they're like some Mane, like Salah. These people had to grind through. Like Mo Salah's life story is ridiculous what he did. And they act like when they see these smaller, lower level league teams, oh, how can our super professional, amazing players? Mo Salah is looking like someone who goes, wow, I wouldn't mind a stadium like that in my hometown for my kids. That's a nice little stadium. They act like some of these players have never seen a bad football pitch before. Mo Salah grew up playing in the dirt, traveling on a hot bus 6 hours to and back to train. Crazy. And they act like these players can't, play in smaller league stadiums or, that's why they don't like the FA Cup. The likes of Alexis McAllister, even, probably grew up in a well-born family in Argentina. They would have played on some awful pitches in local league games and they act like some of these guys, oh, Are they going to be able to play at these stupid, laughing at Luton because they have an old school stadium? I just, these boys, like someone like Mo Salah, to get to where he is now. But 12 man, what I will say is football is a talent meritocracy. Whereas basically, if you've got 3 players in front of you, one's from America, one's from Germany, and the other's from Japan, and they're all on trial for a week at Liverpool, right? The best player is going to get picked, whether he's American, Japanese, or German. But what you're right in saying, what the barrier is getting to that point, right? So the American guy got there, the Japanese guy got, but there will definitely be barriers before that in terms of like, well, how you look outside of that. It might be, we're not going to look at American kids. But if they all get on the pitch together, if you got Pulisic and some other guy, if Pulisic is the best guy, if Mane is the best guy. But there's definitely, back in the day, would have been like older scouts or whatever. Look, America's a long way away. But now I would have thought that a lot of times with data, with analytics and all that, they should cut through a lot of that stuff, and you should be able to identify players and get them to your team. But yeah, of course there'll always be prejudices. Like my nephew has spent the last 10 years of his life playing American football. He's a wide receiver. He's Irish. You know what I mean? He knows. I mean, like, he can't. I mean, if I rang up and said, "Oh, my son, or my nephew's a brilliant player. He's an American football player," and go, "Yeah, but has he ever even been in America?" They'd look at him and go, "Oh, Irish American football players." Yeah, of course, these prejudices. The English have always looked at American gone, yeah, they don't know what they're doing over there, football wise. 100% that is a prejudice, guaranteed. But we all like to think that if we all got a chance to go on a trial, that it wouldn't matter where we were from. If we were the better player, you're going to get on it. But getting in the door is the problem. It's getting yourself in the door of the big club to get a trial or get something like that. And those issues, especially against Japanese people, I think that they couldn't live in England. But this is what I keep saying with the whole Glasgow thing. These guys thrive in Glasgow for something. They do well in Scotland. And but yeah, no, there is 100% there is barriers, but if you give a manager a choice between 2 good players, that manager isn't going to care where they're born from. They're going to take the best one. But there are huge, yeah. And like JK said, the racism in football, the kind of prejudice in football, especially in England, they're deep, man. They are deep. Oh, you're from this country, you won't be that good. Like, that goes back a long time. Oh, you're Brazilian. Oh, you're probably good. Yeah. Oh, you're Argentinian. Oh, you're probably good. Oh, this guy from, wherever. It is, look, it's been, but that's England as well, right? We also need to forget that's just England. Look across, like, all of Europe, you do see a lot more Asian players in Europe than you see. But the whole thing about India, that is weird. India just doesn't produce footballers, JK, does it? You don't really play football that much. Like, you care more about cricket, right? Cricket is your religion in India. Same with China. They don't, like, they got 1 billion, 2 billion people. It's like, surely they must have, but for some reason they don't come out there.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's hard once certain countries are more sport orientated to a certain sport, that top sport. So it's weird, isn't it? It's just, again, it's very hard, isn't it? But again, not impossible. But like I said, Brian, the logistics of it is hard. And just my last point, because I know we're gonna finish up in a minute. We said, like, look, I will hold my hands up. I've admittedly said that to friends and other stream. When he first came, I didn't want Salah. I did not want Salah. And the reason why I didn't is because obviously I would just assume Chelsea. Obviously, he didn't really get much game time, so I have to give him didn't struggle. And then Fiorentina, he done all right, and Roma, and I just thought the Premiership will be overwhelm him. I thought it would be too much for him to deal with, and and I'm happy to say I was wrong with a vengeance. So it just goes to show, hard work, dedication, not just in sport, in life, it can get you a long way.
It can. It really can.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, JK, before we end? No, maybe not. Okay. Well, we are going to end here, but we're going to be returning tomorrow. There's some stories or some points that we wanted to get into, but it's only so long that we can sit around and drink tea. We have to go out and make the donuts, as they say here. So let us definitely reconvene tomorrow. Same time, same channel, same bat time, same bat channel. And hopefully you'll be with us. Hopefully you'll bring a friend, a family member, you can bring a frenemy, you can bring a rival if you want. But all the same, it's all about the fact that you are here with us because you definitely make the show. And we appreciate the fact that, oh man, it is enjoyable times to be a Red right now. It is certainly enjoyable times to be a Red, and long may that continue. So we are going to get up with you guys tomorrow. I am going to say bid adieu. You guys want to say a quick goodbye to the people? Irishman, you want to say a quick goodbye to the people?
Yeah, just the usual. Thanks everybody for being here, and see you all again tomorrow.
Okay. And JK, you want to say a quick goodbye to the people?
Yeah, great show. We didn't have a game, but it don't matter. It was actually cool not having a game in a weird sort of way, but
It was.
Yeah, it's weird, but it felt sort of chilled. You know, when you always got a game, you would have people moaning and this and that. It was chilled. It sort of went our way with Man City and Arsenal. Chelsea are the only ones who got points, but like 3 points. But yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow then.
Yeah. Latte, do you want to say a quick goodbye to the people?
Yeah, thanks again, everyone. Chat, big yourself up. Just as I always say, be safe, take care of one another. And I just like to leave the room like this. Oh, they slow, la 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 la. Oh, they slow, la 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 la. Oh, they slow, la 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 la. Goodbye.
There you go. There you go. Read them and weep, people. Read them and weep. We will get well for you tomorrow.
All for free.
All for free. All for free, for sure. Big up, big up. We have a lot that we'll discuss. Hopefully, we'll have some really good news to unload tomorrow. But all the same, please do join us tomorrow, and we will see you at 7 o'clock in the UK, and we will see you soon. Also, oh, by the way, too, we want to definitely wish that everyone hopefully is safe and okay from the weather, and also a player that is not necessarily a beloved player by many of us, but it's not like I wouldn't wish harm or anything like that. We want to wish a speedy recovery to Mikel Antonio, who was in a really, really bad accident over the weekend. We do wish you a speedy recovery, and we hope that you get well. Other than that, keep it classy, and we will see you tomorrow, people. Up the Reds, people. Up the Reds always. Take care.